Mourinho in before appointing Arbeloa, with the Portuguese currently at Benfica having signed a 2-year deal in September. Sticking with football, Thomas Tuchel has submitted his provisional England squad for the World Cup with Luke Shaw, Danny Welbeck and Alex Scott believed to be among the players named. It's understood Real defender Trent Alexander-Arnold has also made the preliminary list. World Football's governing body FIFA permitted participating nations to submit a long list of 55 players for the tournament, which starts on the 11th of June by midnight on Monday. Finally, for football, one player unfortunately won't be heading to the World Cup. It's Arsenal defender Ben White, who is set to miss the rest of the season with a knee injury. The 28-year-old picked up the injury in the first half of Arsenal's 1-0 win at West Ham on Sunday and was seen leaving the London Stadium in a knee brace. In a statement, the club said White had sustained a significant medial ligament injury, which will rule him out of the last 2 Premier League games and the Champions League final on May the 30th. Tennis now, and Jack Draper has revealed he will team up with Andy Murray in a shake-up of his coaching setup ahead of the grass court season. British number 2 Draper announced he has split with Jamie Delgado after working under Murray's former coach for the past 6 months. Draper confirmed his new coaching team would feature Murray, although the 3-time Grand Slam winner has not officially been given the title of coach. To golf, and Rory McIlroy believes he has a clear road ahead, in his words, to challenge for more major titles, and says he is taking a relaxed approach into this week's PGA Championship. McIlroy arrives at Aronimink Golf Club looking to become the first player since Jordan Spieth in 2015 to win the first 2 majors of a calendar year, a month on from his successful title defence at the Masters. The Northern Irishman's one-shot win at Augusta was his 6th major title and came a year after dramatically completing the career Grand Slam at the same event, with McIlroy among the pre-tournament favourites to challenge for more success in Pennsylvania. McIlroy experienced what he described as a post-Masters slump after what he described as climbing his Everest, with grand final glory last season, failing to contend in the next 2 majors, although he insists he feels different heading into the PGA Championship this time around and is much more relaxed about the tournament. Finally, to boxing, and Jake Paul says his career is most definitely in doubt because of the injury sustained during his loss to British heavyweight Anthony Joshua in December. Paul had 2 titanium plates fitted and some teeth removed after Joshua broke his jaw in 2 places during their heavyweight fight in Miami. The YouTuber turned boxer went 6 rounds with 2-time world heavyweight champion Joshua, but the bout was stopped when Paul failed to beat the count following repeated knockdowns. Paul's defeat by Joshua saw the 29-year-old drop out of the WBA's cruiserweight rankings, and he admits it might be the last time he steps into the ring due to the injuries sustained. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports headlines, and I'm Jack Ogleby. We start with football, and Jose Mourinho is widely reported to be in final negotiations to become Real Madrid's next head coach, 13 years after the end of his first spell at the Bernabeu. The 63-year-old is the clear favourite and believed to be the only candidate Real are in talks with over the role. He would replace current head coach Alvaro Arbeloa, who only took charge in January following Xabi Alonso's departure. Real President Florentino Perez is believed to have considered trying to bring Mourinho in before appointing Arbeloa, with the Portuguese currently at Benfica having signed a 2-year deal in September. Sticking with football, Thomas Tuchel has submitted his provisional England squad for the World Cup with Luke Shaw, Danny Welbeck and Alex Scott believed to be among the players named. It's understood Real defender Trent Alexander-Arnold has also made the preliminary list. World Football's governing body FIFA permitted participating nations to submit a long list of 55 players for the tournament, which starts on the 11th of June by midnight on Monday. Finally, for football, one player unfortunately won't be heading to the World Cup. It's Arsenal defender Ben White, who is set to miss the rest of the season with a knee injury. The 28-year-old picked up the injury in the first half of Arsenal's 1-0 win at West Ham on Sunday and was seen leaving the London Stadium in a knee brace. In a statement, the club said White had sustained a significant medial ligament injury, which will rule him out of the last 2 Premier League games and the Champions League final on May the 30th. Tennis now, and Jack Draper has revealed he will team up with Andy Murray in a shake-up of his coaching setup ahead of the grass court season. British number 2 Draper announced he has split with Jamie Delgado after working under Murray's former coach for the past 6 months. Draper confirmed his new coaching team would feature Murray, although the 3-time Grand Slam winner has not officially been given the title of coach. To golf, and Rory McIlroy believes he has a clear road ahead, in his words, to challenge for more major titles, and says he is taking a relaxed approach into this week's PGA Championship. McIlroy arrives at Aronimink Golf Club looking to become the first player since Jordan Spieth in 2015 to win the first 2 majors of a calendar year, a month on from his successful title defence at the Masters. The Northern Irishman's one-shot win at Augusta was his sixth major title and came a year after dramatically completing the career Grand Slam at the same event, with McIlroy among the pre-tournament favourites to challenge for more success in Pennsylvania. McIlroy experienced what he described as a post-Masters slump after what he described as climbing his Everest, with grand final glory last season, failing to contend in the next two majors, although he insists he feels different heading into the PGA Championship this time around and is much more relaxed about the tournament. Finally, to boxing, and Jake Paul says his career is most definitely in doubt because of the injury sustained during his loss to British heavyweight Anthony Joshua in December. Paul had two titanium plates fitted and some teeth removed after Joshua broke his jaw in two places during the heavyweight fight in Miami. The YouTuber turned boxer went 6 rounds with two-time world heavyweight champion Joshua, but the bout was stopped when Paul failed to beat the count following repeated knockdowns. Paul's defeat by Joshua saw the 29-year-old drop out of the WBA's cruiserweight rankings, and he admits it might be the last time he steps into the ring due to the injuries sustained. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports headlines, and I'm Jack Ogleby. We start with football, and Jose Mourinho is widely reported to be in final negotiations to become Real Madrid's next head coach, 13 years after the end of his first spell at the Bernabeu. The 63-year-old is the clear favourite and believed to be the only candidate Real are in talks with over the role. He would replace current head coach Alvaro Arbeloa, only took charge in January following Xabi Alonso's departure. Real President Florentino Perez is believed to have considered trying to bring Mourinho in before appointing Arbeloa, with the Portuguese currently at Benfica having signed a 2-year deal in September. Sticking with football, and Thomas Tuchel has submitted his provisional England squad for the World Cup with Luke Shaw, Danny Welbeck and Alex Scott believed to be among the players named. It's understood Real defender Trent Alexander-Arnold has also made the preliminary list. World Football's governing body FIFA permitted participating nations to submit a long list of 55 players for the tournament, which starts on the 11th of June by midnight on Monday. Finally, for football, one player who unfortunately won't be heading to the World Cup is Arsenal defender Ben White, who is set to miss the rest of the season with a knee injury. The 28-year-old picked up the injury in the first half of Arsenal's 1-0 win at West Ham on Sunday and was seen leaving the London Stadium in a knee brace. In a statement, the club said White had sustained a significant medial ligament injury, which will rule him out of the last two Premier League games and the Champions League final on May the 30th. Tennis now, and Jack Draper has revealed he will team up with Andy Murray in a shake-up of his coaching setup ahead of the grass court season. British number 2 Draper announced he has split with Jamie Delgado after working under Murray's former coach for the past 6 months. Draper confirmed his new coaching team would feature Murray, although the 3-time Grand Slam winner has not officially been given the title of coach. To golf, and Rory McIlroy believes he has a clear road ahead, in his words, to challenge for more major titles, and says he is taking a relaxed approach into this week's PGA Championship. McIlroy arrives at Aroniming Golf Club looking to become the first player since Jordan Spieth in 2015 to win the first two majors of a calendar year, a month on from his successful title defence at the Masters. The Northern Irishman's one-shot win at Augusta was his sixth major title and came a year after dramatically completing the career Grand Slam at the same event, with McIlroy among the pre-tournament favourites to challenge for more success in Pennsylvania. McIlroy experienced what he described as a post-Masters slump after what he described as climbing his Everest, with grand final glory last season, failing to contend in the next two majors, although he insists he feels different heading into the PGA Championship this time around and is much more relaxed about the tournament. Finally, to boxing, and Jake Paul says his career is most definitely in doubt because of the injury sustained during his loss to British heavyweight Anthony Joshua in December. Paul had two titanium plates fitted and some teeth removed after Joshua broke his jaw in two places during the heavyweight fight in Miami. The YouTuber turned boxer went 6 rounds with two-time world heavyweight champion Joshua, but the bout was stopped when Paul failed to beat the count following repeated knockdowns. Paul's defeat by Joshua saw the 29-year-old drop out of the WBA's cruiserweight rankings, and he admits it might be the last time he steps into the ring due to the injuries sustained. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports headlines, and I'm Jack Ogleby. We start with football, and Jose Mourinho is widely reported to be in final negotiations to become Real Madrid's next head coach, 13 years after the end of his first spell at the Bernabeu. The 63-year-old is the clear favourite and believed to be the only candidate Real are in talks with over the role. He would replace current head coach Alvaro Arbeloa, only took charge in January following Xabi Alonso's departure. Real President Florentino Perez is believed to have considered trying to bring Mourinho in before appointing Arbeloa, with the Portuguese currently at Benfica having signed a 2-year deal in September. Sticking with football, Thomas Tuchel has submitted his provisional England squad for the World Cup, with Luke Shaw, Danny Welbeck and Alex Scott believed to be among the players named. It's understood Real defender Trent Alexander-Arnold has also made the preliminary list. World Football's governing body, FIFA, permitted participating nations to submit a long list of 55 players for the tournament, which starts on the 11th of June by midnight on Monday. Finally, for football, one player unfortunately won't be heading to the World Cup. It's Arsenal defender Ben White, who is set to miss the rest of the season with a knee injury. The 28-year-old picked up the injury in the first half of Arsenal's 1-0 win at West Ham on Sunday and was seen leaving the London Stadium in a knee brace. In a statement, the club said White had sustained a significant medial ligament injury, which will rule him out of the last 2 Premier League games and the Champions League final on May the 30th. Tennis now, Jack Draper has revealed he will team up with Andy Murray in a shake-up of his coaching setup ahead of the grass court season. British number 2 Draper announced he had split with Jamie Delgado after working under Murray's former coach for the past 6 months. Draper confirmed his new coaching team would feature Murray, although the 3-time Grand Slam winner has not officially been given the title of coach. To golf, and Rory McIlroy believes he has a clear road ahead, in his words, to challenge for more major titles, and says he is taking a relaxed approach into this week's PGA Championship. McIlroy arrives at Aronimink Golf Club looking to become the first player since Jordan Spieth in 2015 to win the first 2 majors of a calendar year, a month on from his successful title defence at the Masters. The Northern Irishman's one-shot win at Augusta was his 6th major title and came a year after dramatically completing the career Grand Slam at the same event, with McIlroy among the pre-tournament favourites to challenge for more success in Pennsylvania. McIlroy experienced what he described as a post-Masters slump after what he described as climbing his Everest, with grand final glory last season, failing to contend in the next 2 majors, although he insists he feels different heading into the PGA Championship this time around and is much more relaxed about the tournament. Finally, to boxing, and Jake Paul says his career is most definitely in doubt because of the injury sustained during his loss to British heavyweight Anthony Joshua in December. Paul had 2 titanium plates fitted and some teeth removed after Joshua broke his jaw in 2 places during their heavyweight fight in Miami. The YouTuber turned boxer went 6 rounds with 2-time world heavyweight champion Joshua, but the bout was stopped when Paul failed to beat the count following repeated knockdowns. Paul's defeat by Joshua saw the 29-year-old drop out of the WBA's cruiserweight rankings, and he admits it might be the last time he steps into the ring due to the injuries sustained. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports headlines, and I'm Jack Ogleby. We start with football, and Jose Mourinho is widely reported to be in final negotiations to become Real Madrid's next head coach, 13 years after the end of his first spell at the Bernabeu. The 63-year-old is the clear favourite and believed to be the only candidate Real are in talks with over the role. He would replace current head coach Alvaro Arbeloa, who only took charge in January following Xabi Alonso's departure. Real President Florentino Perez is believed to have considered trying to bring Mourinho in before appointing Arbeloa, with the Portuguese currently at Benfica having signed a 2-year deal in September. Sticking with football, Thomas Tuchel has submitted his provisional England squad for the World Cup, with Luke Shaw, Danny Welbeck and Alex Scott believed to be among the players named. It's understood Real defender Trent Alexander-Arnold has also made the preliminary list. World Football's governing body, FIFA, permitted participating nations to submit a long list of 55 players for the tournament, which starts on the 11th of June by midnight on Monday. Finally, for football, one player unfortunately won't be heading to the World Cup. It's Arsenal defender Ben White, who is set to miss the rest of the season with a knee injury. The 28-year-old picked up the injury in the first half of Arsenal's 1-0 win at West Ham on Sunday and was seen leaving the London Stadium in a knee brace. In a statement, the club said White had sustained a significant medial ligament injury, which will rule him out of the last 2 Premier League games and the Champions League final on May the 30th. Tennis now, Jack Draper has revealed he will team up with Andy Murray in a shake-up of his coaching setup ahead of the grass court season. British number 2 Draper announced he had split with Jamie Delgado after working under Murray's former coach for the past 6 months. Draper confirmed his new coaching team would feature Murray, although the 3-time Grand Slam winner has not officially been given the title of coach. To golf, and Rory McIlroy believes he has a clear road ahead, in his words, to challenge for more major titles, and says he is taking a relaxed approach into this week's PGA Championship. McIlroy arrives at Aronimink Golf Club looking to become the first player since Jordan Spieth in 2015 to win the first 2 majors of a calendar year, a month on from his successful title defence at the Masters. The Northern Irishman's one-shot win at Augusta was his sixth major title and came a year after dramatically completing the career Grand Slam at the same event, with McIlroy among the pre-tournament favourites to challenge for more success in Pennsylvania. McIlroy experienced what he described as a post-Masters slump after what he described as climbing his Everest, with grand final glory last season, failing to contend in the next two majors. Although he insists he feels different heading into the PGA Championship this time around and is much more relaxed about the tournament. Finally, to boxing, and Jake Paul says his career is most definitely in doubt because of the injury sustained during his loss to British heavyweight Anthony Joshua in December. Paul had two titanium plates fitted and some teeth removed after Joshua broke his jaw in two places during their heavyweight fight in Miami. The YouTuber turned boxer went 6 rounds with two-time world heavyweight champion Joshua, but the bout was stopped when Paul failed to beat the count following repeated knockdowns. Paul's defeat by Joshua saw the 29-year-old drop out of the WBA's cruiserweight rankings, and he admits it might be the last time he steps into the ring due to the injuries sustained. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports headlines, and I'm Jack Ogleby. We start with football, and Jose Mourinho is widely reported to be in final negotiations to become Real Madrid's next head coach, 13 years after the end of his first spell at the Bernabeu. The 63-year-old is the clear favourite and believed to be the only candidate Real are in talks with over the role. He would replace current head coach Alvaro Arbeloa, only took charge in January following Xabi Alonso's departure. Real President Florentino Perez is believed to have considered trying to bring Mourinho in before appointing Arbeloa, with the Portuguese currently at Benfica having signed a 2-year deal in September. Sticking with football, and Thomas Tuchel has submitted his provisional England squad for the World Cup with Luke Shaw, Danny Welbeck and Alex Scott believed to be among the players named. It's understood Real defender Trent Alexander-Arnold has also made the preliminary list. World Football's governing body FIFA permitted participating nations to submit a long list of 55 players for the tournament, which starts on the 11th of June by midnight on Monday. Finally, for football, one player who unfortunately won't be heading to the World Cup is Arsenal defender Ben White, who is set to miss the rest of the season with a knee injury. The 28-year-old picked up the injury in the first half of Arsenal's 1-0 win at West Ham on Sunday and was seen leaving the London Stadium in a knee brace. In a statement, the club said White had sustained a significant medial ligament injury, which will rule him out of the last two Premier League games and the Champions League final on May the 30th. Tennis now, and Jack Draper has revealed he will team up with Andy Murray in a shake-up of his coaching setup ahead of the grass court season. British number 2 Draper announced he has split with Jamie Delgado after working under Murray's former coach for the past 6 months. Draper confirmed his new look coaching team would feature Murray, although the 3-time Grand Slam winner has not officially been given the title of coach. To golf, and Rory McIlroy believes he has a clear road ahead, in his words, to challenge for more major titles, and says he is taking a relaxed approach into this week's PGA Championship. McIlroy arrives at Aroniming Golf Club looking to become the first player since Jordan Spieth in 2015 to win the first two majors of a calendar year, a month on from his successful title defence at the Masters. The Northern Irishman's one-shot win at Augusta was his sixth major title and came a year after dramatically completing the career Grand Slam at the same event, with McIlroy among the pre-tournament favourites to challenge for more success in Pennsylvania. McIlroy experienced what he described as a post-Masters slump after what he described as climbing his Everest, with grand final glory last season, failing to contend in the next two majors. Although he insists he feels different heading into the PGA Championship this time around and is much more relaxed about the tournament. Finally, to boxing, and Jake Paul says his career is most definitely in doubt because of the injury sustained during his loss to British heavyweight Anthony Joshua in December. Paul had two titanium plates fitted and some teeth removed after Joshua broke his jaw in two places during their heavyweight fight in Miami. The YouTuber turned boxer went 6 rounds with two-time world heavyweight champion Joshua, but the bout was stopped when Paul failed to beat the count following repeated knockdowns. Paul's defeat by Joshua saw the 29-year-old drop out of the WBA's cruiserweight rankings, and he admits it might be the last time he steps into the ring due to the injuries sustained. That's all for now. We'll have more later. These are your latest sports headlines, and I'm Jack Ogleby. We start with football, and Jose Mourinho is widely reported to be in final negotiations to become Real Madrid's next head coach, 13 years after the end of his first spell at the Bernabeu. The 63-year-old is the clear favourite and believed to be the only candidate Real are in talks with over the role. He would replace current head coach Alvaro Arbeloa, only took charge in January following Xabi Alonso's departure. Real President Florentino Perez is believed to consider trying to bring Mourinho in before appointing Arbeloa, with the Portuguese currently at Benfica having signed a 2-year deal in September. Sticking with football, Thomas Tuchel has submitted his provisional England squad for the World
Stewart up. 13 news in from St Mary's for this evening's crucial Championship playoff semi-final second leg between Southampton and Middlesbrough. 0. And a very warm welcome along to Off-Tube studio-based commentary on this second leg clash. Yes, the first game was not much to write home about on the field, 0-0. And one game that Borough dominated but just couldn't finish off the dinner. That's been the story of their campaign, really, isn't it? Southampton then with an advantage, perhaps more than one advantage, going into this second leg. They're at home, they're level on aggregate, and we are primed for a tense but potentially dramatic affair. It's me, Simon Barlow, with Jack Ogilby for this evening's game. We're just underway at St Mary's, and it's Southampton on the attack early stages down the left-hand side in their red and white stripes, black shorts, white socks. But that pass goes astray, and it's out for a Middlesbrough throw-in. Jack, you caught some aspects of the first game, and it's a familiar story for Middlesbrough.
Yeah, well, Middlesbrough won the shot count quite comfortably, didn't they? They didn't convert their chances. Actually saw them beat Southampton 4-0 on January the 4th, but that one was sparked Saints' strong second half of the season. Well, Borough, especially at home, they had a run of 6 games without a victory for a couple of wins to end the season against out of sorts Watford and relegated Sheffield Wednesday. It's been all happy days, isn't it, for Southampton in recent times, but they were second best for long stretches on Saturday. Came out and played a bit more football in the second half, but I think at home they'll really fancy themselves. The record's been pretty incredible at St Mary's. For me, they are the favourites, but Middlesbrough, I think if there was one team that know how to play a scrappy game, it could be them.
Yeah, well, it's Middlesbrough just forcing Southampton back inside the first minute and a half. And finally, to clear their lines, they get it down the line. Manning to Leo Cienza, but he's got put under pressure there by Luke Ayling. In fact, it was Britton, I think, who forced the ball out. It's going to be a throw-in to Middlesbrough. Kim Hellberg's side then unchanged from that first game. He knows his strongest 11. He wants to pick it again. 3 differences to that first leg lineup for Southampton. Ball over the top, trying to release the run of Britton down the right hand side. Almost got him in, but they now come again with Ayling, who bursts over the halfway line. Good tackle back there by Stewart, however penalised by the referee tonight, who I should probably give a mention to. It's Mr. Andy Madley, ex-Premier League referee. Now Middlesbrough take a quick free kick, move it across to the left-hand side. Good interchange of passes, sees them with a chance to cross target. The ex-Southampton player puts it in the penalty area. A bit of a mess there at the back post featuring Matsuki. It still hasn't been cleared. Eventually it's knocked away, but they made a bit of a meal of that, Southampton. At one moment you thought Middlesbrough would get a shot away. Yes, you did. It's been an encouraging start for Middlesbrough, certainly winning the territory battle, pressing up as they do. You mentioned Kim Hellberg seems to know his strongest side now. He's managed to get Dale Fry into the team. Malander coming in during the January window. He's been undroppable, really, and they've been playing a back 4, but Fry, so often the skipper, he's the spare man in the back 3. They're really impressing so far, Borough. Yeah, lovely 1-2 between Whittaker and not Manning, it was Britton who couldn't get his cross in. Then Manning clears and gets it away as far as Southampton are concerned, but Middlesbrough have settled quicker as they again keep possession on the halfway line. Then there's a foul, a rather frustrated foul by Cienza on Strelec, and we're just seeing that that moment of danger a few moments ago when Matsuki miscontrolled in the penalty area. Then Strelec seemed to get the ball, and then there was a challenge that went in by Matsuki on Strelec. Could that have been a penalty? Well, he did kick him, didn't he? He did kick him, and you mentioned Andy Madley and his Premier League credentials. He was in charge of Craven Cottage, wasn't he, on Saturday, with those 2 sending offs, which he didn't give them. VAR stepped in, and both rightly, I think, given us red cards. It's going to be interesting to see how he adapts to the game without the video assistant referee. Free kick played in by Middlesbrough to the back post, headed towards goal by Fry, headed actually across the face of goal by Fry. Ayling will keep it in on the right hand side, looks to cross himself, puts it in deep to the back post. Keeper struggling, punches it away. Peretz, good firm punch as well though, and gets it clear of danger. Picked up at midfield by Riley McGree. And now Targett setting up a chance here for Morris from deep. Morris just weaving his way forward. Now finds a pass back to McGree on the left. Back to Targett, sort of centrally positioned for the time being. Now back to Ayling. Borough knocking about really well. Chance down the right-hand side here for Britton to cross. Plays it in low towards Zef. Shot that comes in the far corner from Riley McGree. Lovely play from Middlesbrough. They've dominated from virtually the first whistle, and they've got a goal inside 5 minutes.
Yeah, deservedly so, the way they've started this game. They've been so positive. Borough. It's a lovely finish by Riley McGree as well. The ball comes in from the right-hand side. He just steers it past Don Perret. An excellent game at the weekend, making 4 saves, but he wasn't stopping that. There's a bit of an inquest going on in the Southampton defence. Taylor Howard-Bell is shaking his head, but what a start by Borough. They've pressed from the off. They've been totally dominant in this opening 5 minutes and 1-0 up on the night.
Yeah, they were so patient getting the ball out to the right side. Britton then looked up and actually played a careful ball into the penalty spot where McGree's peeled away. Got himself a couple of yards in front of the centre-backs, and it's a very composed finish from the Middlesbrough midfielder through a couple of not defenders' legs, but past defenders there that didn't try and attempt to block it. The goalkeeper was unsighted, he couldn't block it, and it's into the corner of the net. 1-0 after 5 minutes.
It's really smart play from McGree. Ross Stewart's back there. McGree's almost playing right on the line. And then, just as Stewart turns his head, McGree then makes his move. He pulls himself off that line to the edge of the box. Britton spots his run. And McGree has time just to settle himself, centre himself, and beautiful guided finish into the far corner.
Here come Borough again, picking up the loose ball in midfield, and it's Britton driving forward, finding McGree, the goal scorer, who moves it across the left-hand side. Quick pass to Conway. He's got support outside him from Targett, still going back to the left-hand side. Targett's ball into the middle. McGree lays it off. Morris knocks it back to Targett. Crossing chance, it plays the ball into the back post, coming in. Whittaker keeps it in. It's saved by Perret. Might have gone out anyway for a goal kick before Perret clutched it. But again, it's Borough asking all the questions.
There's real tempo to the way that Borough have started this game. Like I said, I was a bit disappointed by them at the weekend. I thought they had a lot of ball and didn't do a lot with it, but they're just so much more just direct with it and so positive.
Yeah, another good ball into McGree's feet, who gets wrong side of Charles, plays it back into Targett's feet. Morris now comes for the short pass, wriggles away from his marker, which was Jander. He still goes towards the edge of the penalty area, lays it off to Whittaker. Whittaker's left foot strike is blocked and it bounces up in the air. Oh, and then it's scraped away by Bree and out for a throw in near side.
What a start by Middlesbrough. Just mentioned Charles there. He's in for Flynn Downs and, not afraid of a yellow card himself, Shay Charles. I thought his selection suggested that Southampton would come out from the off and play straight on the front foot. Downs more of a destroyer, isn't it? But no, they could do with Downs in there to stop the play at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's been quite a turnover of players at St Mary's in the past couple of seasons. There are 1 or 2 survivors from that playoff victorious team of 2 seasons ago under Russell Martin. So there is a bit of experience of these type of tense games at back end of the season. You've got 47 games in your legs, some of them, and you still got to find that extra bit of effort to get over the line in a 2-legged contest like this, and Southampton have done that in recent past. Middlesbrough haven't, but they're ahead in the tie now as they come down the right side. Britton's ball in again, sort of looking for a low ball into the feet of Strelic, cleared away by Southampton. Comes back Middlesbrough's way. Ayling out to the left-hand side. Of course, he was part of that lead side that were beaten in the playoffs by Southampton 2 years ago. So revenge on his mind as the ball's played into the penalty area, but it's cut out by Charles, who clears. Now it's seized upon by Morris. Morris on the right-hand side just slows it down. Looks for support infield, but he's gone back to the halfway line and Fry. Fry to Targett. Targett playing on the left-hand side. Melander's moved into midfield now. He's sort of roaming around there, trying to create space. Now Conway comes forward. Good feet from the Middlesbrough striker. Then he gets caught by Yander. Yander comes away with the ball, finds Cienza. Cienza now crossing the halfway line. Counter-attack here for Southampton, but it breaks down as he tries to thread it through to Stewart. And again, it's Middlesbrough's turn to attack with Ayling driving forward. You can't take your eye off this game. Middlesbrough leading by a 1-0, and still with the impetus here. Attacking impetus down the right with Whittaker. He just slows it down, knocks it back to Britton. Again, they're going to a keep ball phase here in their blue and black striped shirts, black shorts, black socks. Middlesbrough in the changed colours today. Winner to face Hull at Wembley in a week and a half's time. Bank holiday weekend. Should be an absolute cracker, usually is. Hull, I'm sure, watching this game, their fans and players probably wanting to see injuries and suspensions more than the actual outcome of the game, as now there's a foul by Bree on McGree. The goal scorer wins a free kick for Middlesbrough.
Well, you mentioned Hull going through against Millwall last night. We've all bemoaned the lack of quality and lack of excitement so far in the playoffs, but this game's exploded, hasn't it? And hopefully we're going to get plenty of that. We're seeing Borough's last 10 games away from home, 5 wins, 4 draws, and just a single defeat. It bodes well. I mentioned Southampton's home record. They have been very impressive at St Mary's, but a couple of 2-2 draws in recent times maybe just hurt their progress. Middlesbrough, they are so at it today. Morgan Whittaker on the right hand side.
Yeah, Whittaker into the penalty area, chops back onto his left foot, shoots, and it's into the side netting. He went near post. Perhaps the better option would have been to go across the keeper. There are a couple of teammates waiting, but he went for glory and found the side netting.
And you can see what he's trying to do. Engineers an opportunity. It's well wide in the end, actually, by Whittaker. It's just one of those that once he cuts back on his left foot and he's facing the goal, he's got no real opportunity to square it. It's some way wide of Peretz's upright. But again, Southampton trying to play the way out. Cienza winning a free kick. It was he who was leading the counter-attack a few moments ago, but I don't know if it was almost early fatigue. It was such a careless pass. It just allowed Middlesbrough to get out themselves.
Southampton start from the back. Harwood Bellis with a long ball forward. Stewart now making a nuisance of himself, chasing hard, but Dale Fry strong enough to knock it back to his keeper. And Bryn clears. He's had nothing to do so far. I think that might be Sol Bryn's first touch of the ball. 11 minutes in, and it's just to boot the ball downfield.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what Southampton's plan was. Just try and go back to front and get themselves some territory. Blast it by Howard Bellis towards Ross Stewart, who gave Dale Fry a bit of a push, but Fry did well, stood strong, passed it back to the goalkeeper, who's cleared his lines easily.
Throwing in the right back position. Bree looks for a 1-2 there with Yander. He turns away from McGree, knocks it back now to Harwood Bellis, and then Charles. Risky ball across midfield, but it finds its intended target, Matsuki. Now it's pushed wide to the left-hand side for the raiding Manning. Manning now gets ahead of Steen up and he gets to the edge of the penalty, puts a low ball into the back post, and now it's put wide by Stewart on the stretch. The ex-Sunderland striker, the goal was gaping, but he's put it wide.
Yeah, it was a great ball in by Manning, perhaps just too strong. You can see Stewart, he's pointing, he knows where he wants it. Britain's playing everyone on side. You know what, I think he's got too much. It may not have been too strong, that was the problem. He gave Stewart time to settle himself, he steadied his feet, and in the end he actually overruns the ball, just hooks it wide.
It's a really bad miss. You know, it's definitely one that he should be getting on target. Should be scoring, really. But he somehow fashions a finish that puts it well wide of target. Well, Southampton showing some threat finally. Breaking from their own half. There was some good passing to get out of that tight box they're in down the right back position. Got it out through midfield, across to the left, and then Manning really injected the pace and the quality of the cross as well. Just wasn't matched by the finish. They've won it back again in midfield now, Southampton. And Azaz has got the ball. However, Charles was caught by a late kick from McGree, and the referee's getting the yellow card out for the Middlesbrough goal scorer.
Yeah, it's just stretching there, isn't he, McGree? 6 yellows and 2 reds for Andy Madley at the weekend between Fulham and Bournemouth. He's not afraid to brandish the card, and I think he does rightly so. It's a late one. It's really, the slow motion doesn't do anyone favours, but it's a really poor one by McGree. He just continues his run and gets I don't think he's deliberate, but he still gets a big chunk of Shea Charles' right ankle. Yeah,
the Australian goes into the book as he continues to chase down Southampton, passing the ball around the back. Harwood Bellis back to Peretz. Now Wood, centre back, kicks it long up towards Matsuki, chests it down. It breaks to Yander. Now Cienza back to goal, starts to move Southampton forward. A little shuffle and a bit of skill. Finds Azaz. He knocks it wide now to Harwood Bellis. Bellis' ball over the top, looking for the run here down the right of Bree, who's got forward and he tries to get an early ball into the penalty area. It's scraped away by Ayling, and Fry drops to Azaz, edge of the box, feints to shoot. Still moves it wide to the right side. Breeze cross into the penalty area, clipped in, but headed clear by Britton. Southampton piling the pressure on now. Ball out to Cienza on the left-hand side. He's dribbling into the penalty area now. Goes on the outside, drops his shoulder, puts a ball to the back post. Could be a chance here for Matsuki. Poor header, and it's volley clear by the Borough striker Conway, who was always back there. but Southampton creating chances down the left again.
They are, and they're really mixing things up in attack. Cienza often plays on the left-hand side. He's always been playing as a number 10 so far in this game. That's shifted Azaz a bit further right, and Mandzuki's been playing from the left-hand side, but Cienza, he's had 10 minutes of not getting the ball, and he just seems to have gone to his favourite left-side position now, but that's not a great ball towards him by Manning. I think he's a ball they've probably played 100 times this season. It's worked most of the time, but on that occasion, Manning's ball down the line. Far too strong out for a goal kick.
Yeah, goal kick to Middlesbrough, who were in the automatic promotion positions for quite a long portion of the season until things really started to go awry for them around about sort of February, March time, and they dropped out eventually, and in the end they had to pick up in the final month of the season just to guarantee their playoff spot. Ball, although they were challenging for automatic, I think in the last day of the season, it was never quite on with Ipswich in the driving seat. Ball forward there, lost by Borough. Southampton try and move forward again. Story of their season really was the appointment of the appointment of Eckert, I should say, in November, and this terrific unbeaten home run. Well, long unbeaten run since then. They did lose one game, I think, at St Mary's since Eckert's been in charge. That's a good ball from Whittaker. Splits the defence. Run from McGree is, well covered by the goalkeeper. Peretz off his line. But that was a classic defence-splitting ball from Whittaker. However, the linesman's flag has gone up. Yeah,
he was clearly offside there, Ryan McGree. It was so well worked. McGree should be doing a lot better. He's about 5 yards off in the end. But it's really nicely worked initially. It's obviously something they've worked on. There's been a lot of talk about that in the media, hasn't there, in the last few days? But that was almost like rugby set move there, wasn't it? When one person moved, two people moved around him. So close from Middlesbrough.
Headed clear by Fry, picked up by Yanda. And now Azaz knocks it back to Charles. Southampton just trying to get something established down the left again, which has been their best route so far. Woods ball into Cienza, laid off to Matsuki, but a foot in from Britton, and they're claiming a throw in here, Borough. They'll get the decision from the linesman, and the referee madly points in their direction too. Thumbs up from Hellberg. He was another mid-season appointment. I think he probably arrived around about the same time that Eckert was promoted to interim manager at Southampton. Hellberg, of course, brought in after Rob Edwards up sticks and left Teesside to move to Wolverhampton. Of course, if Middlesbrough were to go up this season, they'd be swapping places with Edwards' Wolverhampton Wanderers. Man in the crowd has brought his binoculars to make light of the Spygate situation, which is still rumbling on in the background with Southampton under investigation. As Middlesbrough get the ball on the edge of the box. That's a tough pass though to Morris. It's won back by Yanda. Tries to feed it in towards Azaz, but it's cleared by the Borough defence. And now they pick it up with Britton. Britton thought about the forward pass. Now he plays it down the line for the run of Strelic. Here is the Slovakian down the channel. Stopped by Charles, and it's out for a throw in.
Yeah, nervy moment there for Morris. Overconfident, I think, receiving the ball. He's back to the play. Looks to drop the shoulder, but Yanda knows exactly what he's doing. You can see the German just reads the body language, and Morris puts his hand up in apology. Borough getting away with one there. I think Yanda just hesitated. It's almost like they'd planned what Morris was going to do then. He couldn't believe it had opened up for him so well.
Little 1-2 there between McGree and Conway. It's McGree now raiding forward. The Australian slips it out to the left hand, to the right hand side. It's with Strelic now. He's got traffic around him. One of those was Matsuki, who eventually clears his lines and out of play on the halfway line. But again, it's Middlesbrough looking good through the middle third and asking questions of Southampton again. See that Hayden Hackney is not in the Middlesbrough squad today, the Championship Player of the Year. And the record without him is not great, actually. 9 games, only 2 wins, 5 draws, 2 defeats. Their win ratio with Hackney this season is up over 52%. It's only 22% without him. So, key player still sitting on the sidelines for Borough. Is Manning, just dragged back by Whittaker. But Manning gets his pass into Cienza's feet, edge of the penalty area. He's had his pocket picked. Challenge comes in, cleared by Fry. Only as far as Charles, who sets it out to the right for Bree again. Back to the ex-Manchester City midfielder. And now Yanda carries it forward into a bit of space. Pocket of space on the edge of the penalty area. Now down the right again with Bree. Gets it back, Yanda. Doesn't cross, just keeps it in play. Marked by Melander. Goes back to Bree. Southampton's turn to be patient in possession. Howard Bellis to Wood inside Borough territory. And now Manning gets his head up, doesn't see a forward pass, has to go back to Wood. Once more it's with Howard Bellis, who again is an ex-Manchester City player. There's a few of them involved in the game. Manning again. Not really penetrating this low block from Middlesbrough at the moment. Southampton, they're just being patient, trying to just probe and get bodies forward. Now they might do with Matsuki. He pops up on the right hand side for the first time. Matsuki drives on the outside foot and puts his cross into the near post. Doesn't beat the first man though. It's cleared by Borough. Conway's back there helping out. He tries to charge out of defence. Eventually goes back to Target. Target's low ball out to the left hand side, and Conway's almost body checked by Matsuki, and it's out for a throw into Southampton.
Yeah, 4-2-3-1, aren't they, without the ball? Middlesbrough, Melander's definitely pushing into midfield when Southampton get it in certain areas. See him drop back now. Dale Fry actually goes in, but it just means that, well, the fluidity, you almost think of fluid formation in attack, don't you? But Borough really fluid without the ball, and there's, especially the back three, they're chopping and changing positions to try and give themselves an extra man.
He's got some ideas, hasn't he, Kim Hellberg? We've seen some interesting selections, and he's always trying to keep the opposition manager guessing. Perhaps that's why there's been some suggestion that malpractice has gone on as that cross into the penalty area. It was a poor one from Cienza. Easy back header allows Bryn to pick it up. 21 minutes gone, but a poor clearance from the Borough goalkeeper. Doesn't reach the halfway line. Azaz knocks it inside to Charles, and now Yander misses out Manning, goes further wide to Matsuki, who seems to have a roaming role at the moment. Back to Manning. Matsuki again with substitutes warming up just behind him now. Howard Bellis turns, switches the focus back to the left hand side. It's been their best route so far. Manning up against Whittaker, knocks it in field to Yander. Yander tries to move it out to the right now, but Bree doesn't fancy it. He's tucked in. There's not much width out there. Now they go back to the left-hand side through Howard Bellis' long raking pass, which is well collected by Manning. He puts a ball into the penalty, and Matsuki takes it while he goes down looking for a penalty, and the referee not interested. It's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, it was the ball had gone. It was good tracking back by Morris from midfield. Lovely ball by Howard Bellis. Great control by Manning. Outside left foot. It's a nice pass, isn't it? Matsuki wants to take it on the run, but there's pace on the ball. His touch is heavy. Morris just runs alongside him. The Japanese player goes down, and the American midfielder shadows it out for a goal kick.
Yeah, Middlesbrough still lead 1-0, courtesy of that 5th minute strike from Riley McGree. 1-0 on aggregate in the tie as Southampton win a free kick, I should say now, for a foul by Strelic on Wood. Tonda Eckert paces up and down the sideline. The former under-21s coach, assistant coach, interim coach now. He's got a long contract at Southampton. I guess his future may be clouded in some doubt amid this ongoing investigation. As Southampton have it now left with Manning. He turns away from Whittaker, knocks it back to Wood. Borough trying to press here, but Southampton play through it initially through Yander. He knocks it square to Charles. Charles, of course, scorer of the winner in the FA Cup quarter-final at this ground against Arsenal, I should say. But his pass goes astray again. Now Howard Bellis tries another curling ball out to the left-hand side, which finds Manning. Manning quickly looking to play it into Matsuki, intercepted by Morris. Now Whittaker's felled by Matsuki. He's certainly putting himself about the Japanese, and that's a free kick to Middlesbrough.
Yeah, energetic start by Matsuki, but not really having the desired impact when he's on the ball. Kim Hellberg, he does have some interesting ideas the way he seems to see the game. Keeps everyone guessing. I'm very pleased though with how his side have started the game. Tonda Eckhart, he's got the look of he's all eyes, isn't he, Tonda Eckhart? He's got the look of someone who's trying to keep his cool, but he looks quite alarmed with the eyebrows and the eyes.
Yeah, he's certainly produced some terrific facial expressions during his time as Southampton boss. That's a foul on a Middlesbrough play out on the right-hand side, so it's going to be a free kick to Borough. We've reached that midpoint of the first half. It's still Southampton 0, Middlesbrough 1 to take you through to half-time. It's going to be Jack Oakleby.
Yeah, thanks, Simon. The 1-0, as you say, on the night 1-0 when the teams met in the campaign down at St Mary's. 4-0 to Middlesbrough at the Riverside. It's Morris's long, high free kick from halfway, seen all the way by Howard Bellis, who nods it down. Yeah, it was actually Adam Armstrong who scored Southampton's goal when these two sides met at St Mary's, and Senate equalised. Armstrong, of course, well, unfortunately, moved back in the Championship next season, having signed for Wolves in January from Southampton. Borough on the ball with Melander. Target, former Saint, of course. Conway round the corner to Melander. Ayling to Target. They work half a yard, and McGree, the goal scorer, finds Conway. He's got space to run into. Morgan Whittaker came off the line. That opens a bit of space for Callum Britton on the right hand side. It was his pass in towards McGree, the goal scorer, and that's his pass to Conway as well. Left footed shot is deflected by Wood. Lovely movement. Really have to say that from Middlesbrough. It'll be fascinating if we get almost a bird's eye view of this game. You can just see the passing patterns. It's, you know what, it's really clever, but it's also simple. It's a lot of it's just third man runs that Southampton aren't picking up.
Yeah, it's just shifting players and then moving into the space when they've been shifted, isn't it?
Well, players are playing the ball and then they're stopping and then they're looking at what's in front of them, aren't they, as the ball comes in, and that's how they find the space, because Southampton are always moving and Middlesbrough a lot of the time are standing still. Ball into the box. Wood heads it back into a bad area. Yander half heads it away. Ayling, Whittaker, right into the box. He's had that shot into the sideline, side netting rather. Fails on this occasion. Ayling thought he was fouled. Now it's play on because Ayling has it. Wide on the right hand side. Will get his head down, maybe whip it in. Sides against it. It's got McGree, the goal scorer, back to Whittaker, who's come back into form after a difficult winter. Square ball to Target, perhaps. Shorter than you would have expected. They were running towards each other. Britton going to line up for a shot here. Decent effort, well saved by Pretz down to his right hand side.
Yeah, he got hold of it, didn't he, Britton? He came onto that pass, and there was only one thought in his mind once he took that pass. He was going to strike for goal. Hit it pretty well. Pretz was able to hold on.
Yander brings it away. Cienza now, the former Sampdoria man, cuts inside and keeps cutting inside, going laterally right across the halfway line. But he finds Azaz, who struggled to get into this game, playing further wide this evening. Bree, the right back, he comes inside. Howard Bellis, all the Southampton outfield players in that Middlesbrough half. Manning, little digged ball down the line to Cienza, who gets a wrap round the shins from Luke Ayling. Such a poor challenge knee, Cienza is saying, his left knee. Seen it again. I'm surprised Ayling, I think because it was almost, everyone kind of stood still. I'm surprised that's not a yellow card. It's a nasty one, that, by Luke Ayling. It's just so clumsy.
Yeah, he's kind of made it look clumsy than sort of cynical, but I think he knows what he's doing there. He's just run straight into to Cienza, and it's like the knobbly knees contest, isn't it? His hard knee goes into Cienza's knee, but it's clearly caused the Southampton man quite a lot of pain, and he's still down on the deck, being seen to by the physios now. He couldn't stop himself, but there is a slight motion there to just make sure he wasn't going to be bypassed by Cienza. So there is an intent to foul the Brazilian there, which the referee's either not seen or has been quite forgiving of.
Yeah, it's knee on knee, like you say. It's a straight knee in the end by Ayling on Cienza, who, well, they are stretching him out and he's moving it quite well, so that's a good sign. Just having a look at potential options should Southampton have to make a change. Maybe Cameron Archer could run on the left hand side, but you'd fancy Tom Fellows or Samadozi, more natural wingers than Archer. Had a good spell at Middlesbrough some time ago. Kyle Lowry, another attacking option. Bragg in midfield alongside Downs. Long, the goalkeeper, Stevens, and Wellington the defensive options. Sort of change be required later in those positions. Good news is Cienza's back up, but well, not quite running, I have to say. The Madley's having a word with Luke Ayling. No yellow card though, as Bree, Howard Bellis, Stewart and Wood line up towards the back post. Cienza's getting the spray. Southampton will hope he can run that one off. He's had a fabulous season. The Brazilian Manning prepares to take this free kick from the left-hand side. It's a high line by Borough. Level with the wall, basically. They're a yard or so inside their own at half. It's wide on the left-hand side. Southampton going left to right as we look at its unofficial off-tube studio commentary. There's just over 29 minutes on the clock. Seems a lifetime ago since Middlesbrough took the lead. It's been a real all-action affair. Cienza wants to come back on, but he isn't moving great, I have to say. Manning, low ball in. It's well dealt with by Fryer, who gets a whack from Howard Bellis for his troubles, both competing for the ball. Whittaker clears to Yander. Now Shea Charles, who can open up his body. Then we go back to Yander, and Whittaker's clearance wasn't convinced at first, but he's probably won his side about 60 yards in territory as Wood receives the ball on halfway. Yander still back there, as is Shea Charles. Everyone organises themselves. Southampton just trying to keep possession while Cienza works his way back into the game. Wood looked up, didn't see an option, and I think maybe he did see that Cienza was it and just wanted to give his colleague a bit of time to move. He doesn't look to be moving perfectly, but better than I thought he would be, as Howard Bellis plays into Stewart, who stops short. Target takes it off as his toes, and now Conway can break down the left-hand side. It's a 4-on-4. Conway, left edge of the box, finds Target, wide left, 6 yards out, crosses it into the back of Shea Charles, and he's out for a corner kick. An opportunity there for Middlesbrough. I think Conway just had too much time and maybe took the wrong ball. Cienza looks in real bother. I would think that this might be one that the manager has to take out of his hands and just take him off.
Yeah, the referee wasn't having any of that shout for a foul on Bree, was he? And there was a really good chance for Borough to break there. I agree, I don't think there was a great pass from Conway. It wasn't necessarily the timing of the pass. He just bobbled it into Target, didn't he? So Target probably needed an extra moment to compose himself with the cross, and that allowed the Saints to get back.
Whittaker ball in, away by Stewart. Britton on the edge of the box again. It sits up for him. He shoots. So lovely save by Press. Lovely bit of play by Dale Fry. The old Frank Lampard flick at the near post was actually the far post. This about 12 yards out, but he directed Britton's effort almost wrong-footed. The goalkeeper who made the second smart save of this evening. Wood into Cienza's, pushed over by Britton, who complains, but he had an arm outstretched on the back of the Brazilian, who's just not moving well at all.
No, he's not.
Yander into Howard Bellis. Southampton favouring the right as Bree has it back to Howard Bellis. Matsuki in that roaming roll of space on the left-hand side. Charles has gone wide right as little ball inside to Bree. He's got Stewart to his right-hand side. Good covering by Ailey. Stewart goes down, claiming he was held. I'm not quite sure. Britton comes away with the ball. Good patience and composure as well by Britton. Little Cruyff turn, gives it to Target. An opportunity for Conway to get it out of his feet. Skips past Yander. He's got Shreddit to the back post. He's also got McGrew on the edge of the area. He gets to the byline. Again, almost just scruffy play once again by Conway.
Yeah.
He just seemed to be bundling his way and then scuffing his attempted pass.
Yeah, he's finding some good positions, Conway. He's almost sort of waiting for Bree to push up on the right side, and then he's quickly getting into that space. And Yander and Charles are then being forced to come across and cover that sort of right back space when Conway bursts into it. And we've seen him get into some good positions down the left on 2 occasions now in the past couple of minutes. And the final ball, either from him or from his teammates, not been good enough.
Shea Charles into Howard Bellis. Matsuki goes down but regains his feet and possession. He'll give it to Ward, he'll whip it wide to Manning, into Matsuki, back to Manning, right footed ball forward. Isn't the best, but Manning gets another chance, scoops onto there to Cienza. Stewart's in there. Cienza pushes Fry. There's a foot difference, I was suggesting, those two players, and that was the problem. Cienza leans his shoulder to the back of Fry, who's happy to take the contact on a free kick to Borough in their own box. Yeah,
Cienza seems to have run off that knock now. He was struggling a few moments ago, but he seems to have got over it. We're just seeing these penalty shouts. Well, the penalty shout from Ross Stewart was pretty unconvincing, to be honest. There might have been a better one from Bree, but I think Bree's actually probably fouled Ayling as he's got into that challenge with Ayling, and the referee said play on to that. Eckert furious with the penalty being rejected there by Andy Madley, but I think probably Borough had the stronger penalty claim inside the first minute when Strelic was brought down.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was a loose one, wasn't it, in the Southampton box? That one, yes, Britton does have a hand on Stewart's shirt, but does it have an effect on Stewart not getting the ball? I don't think he's getting the ball. He realises that, and I'm not a physicist, but his momentum looks to go the wrong way as he goes down. He goes down under his own steam. 11 minutes left for the first half. Southampton 0, Middlesbrough 1, the same score on aggregate after the goal was drawn at the Riverside over the weekend. And Borough have possession just inside the Southampton half. More action tomorrow evening, of course. Premier League between Manchester City and Crystal Palace in its League One's term. Stockport against Stevenage. Both of those 8 o'clock kickoffs. It's then the second League One playoff final on Thursday. Bradford against Bolton, also available on this service. And Aston Villa against Liverpool in the Premier League at 8 o'clock on Friday. But 2 games as well in the League Two playoffs. Salford against Grimsby, Notts County against Chesterfield. Luke Ayling has done a mighty job of taking about 90 seconds out of the game over that throw-in. He's kept edging forward. The referee spotted him. Then it was up. There, sir, pointing at the ground. Well done by Luke Ayling, but it's Southampton who got the ball back. Matsuki's giving it away. McGree, right in the middle of the pitch, 40 yards out. Ball is behind Strelic. Can't gather possession. Manning will hoist it long. Fry heads it. Morris, was he fouled by Yander? Azaz has gone to the left-hand side. Morris does well to win it and play off the shins of Yander, I think. Sienza's not happy. And Britton will take the ball off him. Sienza does look to be back up and moving, so that's good news for him and Southampton. The subs have gone back in. Just have a look at the Saints bench. Doesn't seem to be too much movement, so I don't think a change is incoming. Ayling with the throw down the line. Strelic will jump with Wood. Wood gets the last touch out for a Middlesbrough throw. Ayling on to Britton. Britton pauses, then throws it back to Dale Fry. Now at target, Malander in the middle of the park, turns it round the corner looking for Britton. It's a loose pass. Sienza will pick up the seconds via Manning. Manning tries a little backheel pass off Britton. Out for a throw on halfway to Saints. Sienza again then goes down rubbing his left knee. Not what you want to be doing in front of the manager when you're trying to stay on, I don't think, because there's a yellow card for...
I'm guessing it's for Strelic, although he's not actually... Oh, it's for Wood, is it? For the battle he's having with Strelic.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where the incident was. Maybe something he said. As Yander loops the ball to Howard Bellis. He then loops the ball to Bree, but he can't control it. It does eventually actually make its way to Azazu. Left Borough for Southampton, didn't he? Well, target was fouled by Shay Charles. Referee me playing advantage. Malander, Frenchman, rolls it back to Dale Fry. Now Ayling, he just hesitated. Then Malander, lovely feet, and again lovely feet. Clearly fouled by Stewart. He was trying to lift his leg to take the man out. Then Yander wins it off Morris, who's behind the play now, and Saints come forward. Sienza gets inside. Ayling is fouling, but Sienza still going. Well played by him. Free kick and the yellow cards incoming for Luke Ayling. It might not have been the challenge that brought him down, but there's one certainly earlier on. Andy Magnus walks away as Ayling leads the charge towards him. It might not be your first, certainly your second, maybe your third, and then he goes into the book.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a yellow card worthy offence if you take into account the previous foul he made on Sienza, which he didn't receive a card for. I think the referee probably maybe has either thought I should have carded him afterwards, or he's thought, you know, that's your warning and the next foul's going to see your name go in the book. His reaction is completely over the top here. He's pointing fingers at 3 Southampton players now. He needs to get his hands down here, Ayling, because there's a lot of pointing going on, and the referee I think the referee is just going to tell him to come here and we'll all just calm down a bit. I'll have a word, and Ayling's still going, and for an experienced pro, he just needs to calm down. Dale Fry's doing his best to explain the decision, although I don't think he's doing a great job of it. Andy Madley, something's been said maybe on the bench. Ayling still protests his innocence, but well, something's happened. I think here's the referee bringing the two coaches together and just telling them to get their charges on side and to calm things down.
which for me, he's probably good officiating in it's quite a heated atmosphere with so much on the line. Of course, a place against Hull in the playoff final next Saturday at Wembley. You'll be able to catch that one on this service. Whoa! Something said. Hellberg pointed the finger. Eckert went. It went for him. AV bashes off the bench. Eckert's away.
So, okay, this is why the referees had to come between. I thought it was something to do with what Ayling had. Maybe Ayling's reacted to something Eckert said off the side of the pitch. But there's definite beef there, isn't there? You know, I'm trying to interpret what's going on from the body language, but Eckert is absolutely fizzing. He seemed to, like, not punch, but just jab a finger at Kim Hellberg. So, let's go back to the initial play. Yeah, it's a foul by Ayling on Cienza. Ayling reacts badly to that, starts shouting and bawling at. Then does Eckert get involved? Fry's trying to come in as peacemaker between him and the referee. I don't think Eckert ever has any part of that, but then the referee suddenly gets his attention called to some issue on the sideline where he starts then to bring the two managers together, the coaches together, and then they start to lose their rag. It just...
Well, Hellberg, like schoolyard, that wasn't it? Hellberg points at Eckert and then hides behind the fourth official. Eckert, it's a good job he's got his hands in his pocket because the elbow kind of comes forward and gets caught there. I think he was going to point back maybe. It was he was fizzing there.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of chat between the players. 3 minutes have gone on, I would say there. Ayling still having a chat with Howard Bellis. He just needs to calm down because you can say it wasn't a foul all he likes, but it pretty obviously was at least two in that passage of play. Southampton 0, Middlesbrough 1. Free kick to the Saints, 40 yards out wide on the left-hand side. Managed to take it. Decent ball in. Howard Bellis is Ayling. Oh, you lucky boy, Luke Ayling. It came off his thigh. Maybe I'm not giving him the credit he deserved because that could have gone anywhere for him, though. Fortunately, it went over the crossbar.
Well, that would have been some justice, wouldn't it, for the foul? As we're seeing now, there was a potential offside on the free kick anyway, but Ayling's not aware of that. He's trying to cover him behind Howard Bellis, who's got a great chance of just nodding this in. He misses the header, then it comes off Ayling's knee and goes behind for the corner.
It comes off his knee there. What a period of play that would have been. Cienza, ball is halfway at the near post. It comes to Finn. Azaz on the goalkeeper spilled it. It was a decent effort from Azaz, but it looked quite comfortable for Saul Brim, maybe because it came through the bodies. It took him a couple of goes to get it. Cienza's chip bowling wasn't the best. Azaz, lovely technique down into the ground and along the turf. Brim took it the second time of asking.
Yeah, he's managed to recover there after an initial spill. Looks a cool customer, doesn't he, Sol Bryn? He's not been first choice throughout the campaign, but obviously he's the second half of the campaign he's been a regular in goal, and he's hardly been tested really in this game so far. But that wasn't the cleanest handling initially there.
They've been looking for a goalkeeper for quite a while, haven't they? Sammy Sk had his injury problems, and a couple of others have come and gone. You look at the stats, and there's a lot of goalkeepers who've played 10, 15 times a season for Borough. Saul Bryn has had the gloves in since before Christmas. So
he had to be fair, he's actually played 46 championship games this season. It must be last season I was thinking he was in and out of the side. Yeah, he's been the regular.
Yeah, Rob Edwards must have made his decision in the summer. I know DeYoung was injured, wasn't he? And then Kim Hellberg stuck, and the ball didn't stick there, but he's done a good job, hasn't he? Brim between the sticks. Ayling's got the wrong side of Stewart. He's fouled him as well. Advantage being played. Cienza goes past Malanda. Malanda stands his ground. Cienza's still going, though, down the left-hand side. Malanda helped out by Whittaker. He goes down, a touch on him. And a free kick down in the Middlesbrough right-back area. It was just a clip accidentally, maybe, I'm not quite sure. Ayling on Stewart. Half-time, I don't think it comes soon enough for Middlesbrough's number 12. That's a good play by Malanda, stepping across the ends. He's biding his time. Knew that reinforcements were coming. Whittaker did well, tracking back from the right-hand side. Cienza, it's that left leg. I thought he'd ran it off, but maybe just got another jarring one there. Seems to be struggling. Bryn will take the free kick, level with the 18-yard box, wide on the right-hand side. Some supporters heading for some half-time refreshments. I'd be tempted to stay out to see what happens when they all head off down the tunnel for the break. We have got just over a minute left of the regulation 45. I think we'll probably get 4, maybe 5 of additional time. As Mannings throws over everyone. Fry and Stewart, 2 tall players reaching up there. Was that a foul on any? No, Matsuki comes away with the ball, as he's done all season. Morris sweeping up in midfield, but it's a throw in, and Southampton, they're not doing a lot with it, but they've got a lot of territory at the moment.
I think the referee's close to losing a grip of this game, if he ever had a grip of it anyway, to be honest. I think it's really sort of, it's been a tinderbox, and it started to spark a little bit now, and I think it's going to catch fire very, very shortly. The referee needs to, just get hold of the game, but I'm not sure he can.
Yeah, Manning's throw isn't the best. Yenza says he was obstructed by Britain, and the referee agrees. So a free kick to Southampton. This is Ryan Manning's reading his lips. He's saying that, well, they should overturn the free kick. Ryan Manning said he's fallen in the box. There's a big divot where Cienza is. He was never in the box. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt there, Ryan Manning. I think
he might have been saying he's denied a goal-scoring opportunity. That might be what he's trying to ask the referee if he'd agreed with. But I think it was such an acute angle, and there was covering defenders in the vicinity. I don't think that was ever going to be the case, if that was what he was asking for. 6
minutes have been added on. It's going to be Bree to go across and take this free kick. Going to require a delicate touch from Bree. Hands on hips. Manning's unmarked at the back post. He could be an option. Ball in there. It's Ailey. It's Manning. It's off the bar. 2 players at the back post and in for Southampton. Ross Stewart wheels away. Was it him who got the last touch? I think it was, It was a nicely worked free kick from the left-hand side. Dinked in by Bree to Manning. Into the ground, off the bar. Southampton players fighting each other at the far post to turn it in. And it was Stewart who got the final touch.
Yeah, you called it before he played the free kick. He said Manning's unmarked at the far post. And it's surprising to see how Middlesbrough just completely left him alone. The ball was played in really well by Bree. Curling ball to the back post. He's volleying towards goal. Bryn then parries it up in the air. And then, just the tallest player on the pitch. He makes the high jump there to head the ball down from... only a couple of yards out. Was never going to be stopped, really. So Borough's problem came before that with not marking Manning at the back post.
Yeah, it was a brilliant save, wasn't it, by Bryn rather than off the crossbar. Manning, lovely technique, gets himself over the ball into the ground. And Stewart, tallest man on the pitch, like you say, he's got the run on Fry as well. He comes over the top of the Middlesbrough skipper, nods it down. Tondereka. Delight for him. It's 1-1 in the Championship when the two sides met at St Mary's. It's 1-1 now. 1-1 aggregate, of course. We've still got 4 minutes of stoppage time to play. What was they going to throw up? Wood has it from the kickoff. It's Peretz now, the goalkeeper for Southampton, who clears his lines. It's nodded away by Britton, who gave that foul away against Cienza. The Southampton fans on the feet now. Momentum with their side. Stewart does well to block Britain's ball away. Cienza wide on the left, cuts inside, cuts outside. Ooh, it looked like he was tracking towards Stewart. Well played by Elliot. Heads it away to Manning there on the edge of the box. Yander. Cienza wide on the left, cuts inside. Zaz. Shea Charles shooting chance. Going to go for goal. Tries to guide one into the far corner. Blocked away. Strelic then can't control. It's half away by Morris. Now Target. Dinks the ball down the line. Strelic, he can get past Wood. His touch just took him away from goal. Wood recovered, but Strelic does well. Slovakian striker into Target. Forward to McGree, who opened the scoring so early in the game. Ailing now. Wide to Britton. Whittaker's just having a look towards the edge of the box. They go backwards though. Now Whittaker's got himself a bit of space. Manning reacts though. And Britton recycles to Ailing. Ailing back to Fry, the deepest of the Middlesbrough outfield players. Fry looks up and looks to spray a ball in behind James Bree. Conway's got the better of Bree. Was it a foul? Did look a bit suspicious. Conway protests his innocence, but that was a bit naughty. It was all it's a foul by Conway. He's got the wrong side of Bree, basically. Then what happens then is he has the ball. Peretz knocks out his hand, and Conway's reaction, he goes to follow it as you would if you're playing basketball, I guess. He follows it with his hand and he catches Peretz in the face. It's something or nothing, I think, and it's just kind of where the game is at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. It's just simmering, isn't it? And he doesn't really need players play acting like that. That Peretz, he's claiming he's got a finger in the eye or something. It was just, he knew what he was doing, and he put his face in the way to try and draw his man into even more trouble. The referee has taken a sensible view there. There was no need to issue any further yellow cards.
Yes, the camera focused on Amy Vivash, who's part of the Kim Hellberg's coaching staff. I wonder if he received a caution because he was straight off the bench during that altercation. Something was said between someone and all those kind of things. And you don't know who's the instigator and all those bits and pieces, but the way he charged off, you wonder if he was going to receive sanction. We've not had anything to suggest so, as Manning into Cienza, who turns Ailing, of course, on that yellow card. Cienza does well. Ailing just about keeps it in, I think. He's under pressure in his own 18-yard box. Has to give the corner away. They just need to get themselves in the sheds now, Middlesbrough, especially Luke Haynes calmed himself down. Clearly went out for a corner kick. Second time asking, it would have been given, but probably the last play of the game, as we see goals from set pieces this season. 28 for Southampton, second best in the Championship. Strelec and Stewart tussling on the penalty spot. It's how do you say, bubbling under, isn't it? Andy Medley tells them both to calm down. Cienza, I think he's standing over the corner on the far side. Whips it towards the far post. Bryn comes out, doesn't quite get it, but Middlesbrough away. Still we play on, we play beyond the 6 minutes of additional time as Peretz sweeps the ball well out of play for a throw. Disappointing. Now the referee has called time. Let's face it, it's been an eventful first half in this Championship playoff semi-final. Fireworks as the two sides head off for half-time. It's been thoroughly fun so far. Joining us shortly for second half coverage, Woodall at the break.
Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that, a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. At half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that, a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. At half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that, a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. At half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flash points occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. At half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flash points occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. At half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flash points occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. At half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flash points occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. At half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flash points occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. At half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flash points occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. At half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flash points occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. At half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flash points occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. At half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flash points occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. At half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flash points occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. At half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time, it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass, but flashpoints occurred midway through the half. Luke Ayling at the centre of it. Then the two managers seemed to come to head-to-head there, but after that a free kick was played into the back post by Manning, and towards Manning, whose volley was saved by Bryn, and then follow-up headed home by Ross Stewart. To half-time it's one apiece. Half-time at St Mary's in the playoff semi-final. It's Southampton 1, Middlesbrough 1. Borough making the better start and getting the early goal through Riley McGree. A first-time finish from Callum Britton's pass. Well, welcome back. Second half just about to get underway at St Mary's, and let's hope that both teams and their respective coaching staff have used that 15 minutes to cool off. Certainly cool heads will be required in this second half to determine which of these two clubs goes through to face Hull at Wembley in the playoff final. 1-1, evenly poised after a pretty even first half, which Middlesbrough came out like a house on fire, dominated before fading. That's been their case, hasn't it? They start well, then fade. Perhaps it was just Southampton coming strong as the half wore on, and they got the equaliser through that set piece. There's a throw in down the left now as we're underway, and it's thrown in towards Matsuki, heads it on, then Ross Stewart's pass to Cienza was a poor one. Cienza just walked out for the second half, and he's already limping.
What are they doing here, Southampton? They should have taken him off at half time. He can't run. Plain and simple. He had that knock in the first half, but from a tactical or from a game management point of view, they wouldn't have wasted a window if they had it at half time. Now they'll have to take him off, because you can see he can't play on.
It's stiffened up, hasn't it? It's one of those where it's an impact injury that's stiffened up during the 15 minutes where he's not been active. You wonder if they perhaps would have been better off working him on the pitch during that 15 minutes. I suppose he needed the rest, didn't he? But just to keep him warm rather than him obviously to go to the dressing room. It's stiffened up, and now he's like I don't know, it's like a geriatric walking around there on the left wing at the moment for Southampton. They're still in possession, Saints. They've gone back to Howard Bellis, who plays it forward. His pass, though, is an errant one. It's going to go all the way through here to Ross Stewart. So Azaz left it, maybe, for Stewart. Down the right they come with a cross in from Breeze, massively overhit, and, well, he was never going to reach that. The winger, he perhaps needs a walking stick more than anything, or I don't know, a Zimmer frame, does Leo Cienza.
I'm trying to just be saying something to a teammate, isn't it? And just trying to read his lips. He's trying to run it off, It's one of those things where, do you praise him for his bravery, or do you think sometimes you've got to put your hand up? And he just looked like he just doesn't. I think they're looking at clips of him now. He's just struggling so much. There was one, Howard Bellis looked to his left, he knew he couldn't play it to his left hand side. Ross Stewart knew he couldn't play it to the left hand side because Cienza was there. When your teammates are aware of the issue, it starts to affect the way the team plays.
Yeah, I mean, could he, I don't know the ins and outs of the injury, could he be doing himself more damage by staying on the pitch here and potentially put himself out of the playoff final if Southampton get there? Maybe, although he obviously wants to carry on and help his team get through to Wembley, but maybe it might be better off for him in the long term, and his team even in the short term, that he goes off. There's a bad foul, which the referee has given as a free kick to Middlesbrough. Howard Bellis is contesting that decision, but he went straight through Tommy Conway, and the referee's given the free kick. He's lucky not to escape a yellow card.
I'm surprised the referee hasn't given a yellow card. We're seeing it again. He's nowhere near the. How can he? The cheek of the boy, Simon. He was nowhere near the ball there, was he? And how he is, I think. Maybe he's played the game a bit there, Howard Bellis, and he's been so vociferous in his protestations, he might have got away from a yellow card. It's a stonewall yellow card. Tom Fellows is warming up. I don't think he's too far away from coming into the game, but he's certainly got away with one there, the Saints captain. Yeah,
his prospective father-in-law's Roy Keane, so perhaps he's been watching old videos back at the Keane household there of some of his tackles. But that was late and completely missed its target, or the target being the ball there, as this free kick's played in by Middlesbrough, headed clear by the Saints defence. Borough scurry back to the halfway line. Target, who took that free kick, chips it long into the channel for Fry, who stayed forward, but Howard Bellis beats him to the head and knocks it away for a throw in well, actually it's come off a Borough foot last, so it's a Saints throw in level with the edge of the penalty area. As you can see, well, as we can see, not you, obviously we can see the substitutes warming up on the far side for Southampton, so maybe an indication that they are going to be introduced shortly. Cienza won that free kick from which Southampton scored from. And Ross Stewart with the header, the downward header that did the damage. There was a bit of shoving going on before that on the initial ball in, and Stewart was actually doing the shoving, so it's interesting there that obviously there's no VAR, but if VAR had to check that goal, maybe it would have been brought back for what Ross Stewart did on the initial cross.
Perhaps. Well, you could also being pernickety about, we saw the written foul on Cienza. He had his hands right up quite high on him, so they might have looked at that as well. I think, as we saw with the disallowed goal at the London Stadium, at these instances there are so many things going on at the same time. It is like the old thing of the Last Supper pitch painting, isn't it, where there are so many things that you don't spot the first time, that if you have another look at it, it all kind of makes sense, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, they have voted against introducing VAR into the Championship next season. The clubs in the EFL this season weren't interested in bringing that in, so they can't really complain if incidents on these free kick and corner melees not being spotted. Here's another free kick, potential melee again, into the penalty area it goes. Not a great delivery by Targets, won though by Borough, driving to the penalty area through McGree. He wants a penalty, referee says no. Rather guilty looking Matsuki put his arms behind his back after the incident, but the linesman was close by as well. Andy Madley pointing to his shoulder saying it wasn't low enough to be handball.
Yeah, going to see it again. McGree.
Oh, I'm afraid that's handball.
Yeah.
That is a penalty.
Yeah, well, the arm is up at the shoulder height, but it's hit him right. He makes a fist and he hits it, and he couldn't have looked more guilty, I had to say. Matsuki, he put his arms right down by the side and he looked straight at the referee. And
well, you just see it's not going to be their night if they're not going to get a penalty decision like that. They could have had a penalty in the first minute when Strelic was caught inside the penalty area, but this referee has waved a few things away tonight. Here's Wood on the ball in defence, knocks it inside to Yander. Yander moves it across to Harwood Bellis. He's looking for a forward pass. Again, chips it over the top, looking for the run down the left of Manning. It's an awkward header and missed by Britton. It reaches Manning, who's low ball into the near post. He's gobbled up by Britton.
Yeah, good goalkeeping that at the near post, and straight away they play out to Malander Middlesbrough. But I think that's probably something you wonder what Kim Helber's team talk would have been. Would he have delivered it? Would someone else have? Because he seemed quite fired up, and you do think, you mentioned that decision, they might start to think it's not their night, or a few things that went wrong in the first half, and they can't come to think like that. But it's quite easy to things to snowball like that when you're not getting decisions, as Matsuki takes Britton out, and somehow it's not a foul.
Yeah, Yander moves it on to Cienz, who seems to be moving a bit more freely now. Comes in off the left-hand side, still going across the centre of the pitch. Now moves it back into Harwood Bellis, then fizzed into Shea Charles. Charles is driving forward edge of the penalty area, rides the challenge of McGree, gets it out wide to the right for Bree, feints to cross, then checks back on his left foot, won't cross with that weaker side. Now he goes back to Harwood Bellis. Wood now, 40 yards distant from goal. Simple ball to Yander. Yander trying to thread it through to Cienza on the edge of the box. Borough sitting deep now as he goes wide to Manning. Manning's ball into the legs of Britton and behind for a Southampton corner.
Yeah, it looked like a clear foul that I thought on halfway, but Borough again not quite getting the rub of the green. Cienza has come in a bit more into the game in those couple of passes of play, so maybe he has managed to get a bit of blood moving through that injury. And the adrenaline's carrying him through, and he's going to take his corner kick as well.
Corner to be taken, yes, by Cienza. Wood and Harwood Bellis in there. Manning lurks back post again. That's where he contributed to the goal. In it goes towards the penalty area, headed away, and then it's put back in by Manning, Matsuki rather, and cleared away by Targi and out for a throw. So you wonder if Southampton will try a long throw routine. Now Bree has gone across to take it. He's not exactly looking at a long throw here. He's looking more towards a throw back into defence, really, or one of the defenders who's back there. Howard Bellis and Wood. Now moved across to the left. Manning down the line to Cienza. Britton trying to stay a little bit off him at the moment as they go back to the halfway line. Now Wood tries to rake a ball through. It's flicked on by Azaz to Matsuki, who teases it wide to Cienza. Now we'll see what he's got as he takes on Britton with a bit of green grass to run into. He checks back onto his right foot, puts an early ball into the box, headed clear by Fry, and then left by Strelic as it goes over his head through to Harwood Bellis. Again, the pass is out towards Cienza on the left-hand side, who's got it between his feet now and he's taking on Whittaker and Britton this time. Probably needs support. Goes down looking for a free kick. Won't get it from the referee at this point in time. Morris back to Ayling, who clears up towards Whittaker. He tries to roll Manning, who wasn't falling for that trick, and he's got it under control now, the Saints full back, and he finds Shea Charles. He tries to move his side forward. Azaz, a quiet game so far. Scorer of that spectacular goal at Wembley the last time Southampton were there for the FA Cup semi-final. Could it be 2 trips to Wembley in one season for the Saints? Well, they need to find a goal It's a 1-1 on aggregate. Now Middlesbrough have won it back and they move it over to the left-hand side for Target. He's then caught by Azaz. That's a bad challenge. And that'll be a free kick and a yellow card for the Republic of Ireland international.
Yeah, he just seems to be lunging there. Like you say, he's had a frustrating evening, hasn't he? Finn Azaz struggled to get into the game. Target bringing it forward. He's just the force that Finn Azaz comes. Does he get the ball? He doesn't get the ball either. So we've got the benefits of the replay, but it looked pretty obvious first time around. Yellow card for the Ireland international. Got one against Preston on the final there as well. Target's a tough cookie. Dusts himself off, but I think Cienza is moving a bit better, but twice they had the opportunity to go on the outside and just wasn't going to take it, was he?
Free kick to Middlesbrough. Target stands over the ball again. Former Newcastle man. Fry in the penalty area. It's aimed towards the back post. Strelic goes up with a header, but he mistimes it. It's nodded away by Saints and out for a throw-in. Player late to get up there after that melee is Yuri Matsuki. Kuryu Matsuki, I should say. And he's gingerly getting back to his feet now, holding his foot. They were onside when that ball was put in, and Strelic just beaten to it by the defensive header from Harwood Bellis. And then I think somebody fell on Matsuki, who was down holding his ankle. So throw in to Middlesbrough. They're set up for a long throw into the box here, and lots of room to work with for Callum Britton, who's onto that red track alongside the turf. Now he moves into position and flicks it in, and it's a poor flicked header. He got too much on it. Luke Ayling puts it behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, awkward one, wasn't it, for Luke Ayling? All coming in quite flat, and he had to do a lot of work himself and just couldn't quite angle it. We've seen Alan Brown was sent out to warm up by Kim Helleberg, so that would be a midfield change. He has played right back, hasn't he, in his career, but very much an attacking midfielder this season. Yeah,
he's played out wide, hasn't he? A couple of times. Saw him against Ipswich. Quite good, actually, in the early stages against Ipswich. Down the left-hand side, Che Charles now scampers away from Whittaker, gets to the byline, tries to put a cross in, but it's blocked by Fry. And we go from one attacking set piece at one end to a corner at the other.
Yeah, an opportunity for Saints just to put a bit of pressure on Borough. It's going to be Cienza to take it from the near side as we look at his unofficial off-tube studio commentary. Inviting Wood. Manning, of course. Interesting his role if Middlesbrough pick him up again. He's gone to the far stick. It was unmarked for the goal. Looks like Luke Hayes is ensuring someone does pick him up this time.
Cienza stands over the ball. Whips it in right-footed, high towards the back post. Bryn under pressure, kicks it away, and then punches it away, and then it's an overhead kick attempt by Manning at the back post, which was fairly tame and blocked away and out of harm's way. As another cross comes into the penalty area, nodded clear by Melander. Collected by Manning, who shoots on the turn, and it's almost squeezed in at the near post. It went just wide off a deflection. It'll be another Southampton corner.
I didn't think it was. I think the fans behind the goal thought it was in as well. Manning takes it off Matsuki's toes, then turns. It comes off Ayling. He's going to have a say on. It's all about Luke Ayling this evening. It goes between his legs, but he manages just to shut them, and his right heel gets the ball away, glances off the post. So it is second corner in succession then for Southampton. Over on the right, this one though. Away from goal, curled in by Cienza, headed up in the air by Melander. Will be a third corner now for Southampton. Fans greeting this second half surge from the Saints with warm applause and plenty of cheers. Middlesbrough fans have made that trek down from Teesside with hearts in mouths at the moment. Here comes the corner from Cienza, in towards the near post, headed away by Melander. Then it's knocked back to Che Charles, whose shot comes through a crowd of bodies, but it's blocked eventually, and Borough can bring it away. On the counter-attack now, Whittaker, first time pass poorly executed, stopped by Azaz. He was looking for Conway on the far side, but Azaz had tracked his run and got in the way of it. Yeah, it was almost worked. It's just those counter-attacks haven't clicked really for either side so far in this game, and Azaz not a player you expect to be back. They did quite well in the end. Now Peretz, the Israeli goalkeeper, plays it sideways to Harwood Bellis. He just strides outside of his penalty area,
outside the keeper's penalty area, and chips it into midfield. Matsuki, time to turn away from Ayling, moves it further onto the left-hand side. Manning, head up, looking for a forwards pass, can't deliver it, so he goes back to Yanda. Borough pressing here through Conway, ball over the top, trying to beat that press, but it's nodded away by Target. Conway challenging with Charles. Charles wins the header. Azaz brings it down. Cruyff turns away from McGree, threads it down the line. It's a good ball, but it's just behind Bree. And out for a throw into Middlesbrough. We've reached the hour mark in this contest. Still one apiece.
Yeah, Matsuki or Luke Ayling, they both got main character energy, haven't they, this evening? They seem to be in the thick of everything, both good and bad, for their respective sides. Kim Helberg keeping his cool. He had a conversation I saw as he was coming off with Andy Madley at half time. Don Recker went straight down the tunnel. It's such a nervy evening. There's so much tension and so much adrenaline. You can see, by the way, both sets of players are handling things, and both managers. It's the richest game in football, the playoff final, but you've got to get there, haven't you?
Yeah. Ball forward by Fry, finds Whittaker, who moves it on towards Britton. Stab ball into the feet of Strelec. Strelec controls it well, holds off, and then back heels it to Morris. Now it's worked to the right again for Britton. Britton then looking for Strelec again. First time pass, finds McGree, breaking forward. Good cover comes across here from Howard Bellis, but McGree's got it inside the penalty area. That was really good play again from Middlesbrough. They just couldn't quite marry it up with the final ball, and eventually it's broken down again and cleared by Howard Bellis.
It was good play by Howard Bellis as well. I think a lot of defenders would have come across them, flown in, and maybe caught McGree, but he just stood his ground, and he knew McGree was going to try and turn away back onto his left foot, and he saw out the danger, but not quite yet.
Here's Conway out on the Borough left-hand side. Knocks it back to Target. Target, square ball to Malanda. Tried to throw it through the legs of Charles, but gets another chance here with Ayling, who drives a shot into a crowd of bodies blocked by Yanda. Borough pick it up again through Target. Will he pull the trigger? No, he fizzes it in towards Strelec's feet. He's trying to turn on the edge of the box and get a shot in with his left foot. Can't quite manage it. Now it's Morris. Lots of bodies in there for Borough. McGree, the goal scorer, finds Morris. Work to the right-hand side. Now it's crossed in by Britton. Decent ball to the back post, and it's headed clear by Bree. Picked up by Conway. Conway drives at Bree again. Trying to push him back into the penalty area. Just went too far towards the byline and gets stopped. And now Saints can clear. Dale Fry facing his own goal will surely take no risks here, but he's now lost it in a tussle with Ross Stewart, who plays it on towards Cienza. Big chance of this for Southampton, edge of the penalty area. Cienza goes on the left-hand side. He's brought down by Ayling, and the referee says no penalty. Well, that looked pretty clear to me, but the referee, at least he's consistent. He's turned down so many penalty claims tonight. That one was as good as any.
Well, Cienza's knocked it past Ayling, and Ayling's looking at the opposite direction to the ball. Middlesbrough on the counter-attack.
And he gives a free kick at the other end. Well, it seems like this referee, anything outside the penalty area, easy decision for him. He gives the free kick, he gives the foul. Anything inside the box, you have to have a chainsaw out to get a penalty off this guy.
Well, he seemed to be saying to the Southampton players that he goes down too easy. I think he says goes down, but that is a clear penalty. Ayling, Cienza's gone past Ayling. It's unorthodox, shall we say, but he just shoves him. He just shoves. He goes past him and he just shoves him. Is there a better, more poetic way of describing it than that? It just looks so clear cut to us.
Yeah, it's a penalty. I think it's just a bizarre refereeing performance from Andy Madley tonight. You saw him in the Premier League. Was he any different to this?
Well, I didn't see him. I just saw on the famous highlights package show that goes out on a Saturday night that there were two what looked pretty obvious red cards. One was Ryan Christie going right through the back of Castagna, was the wrong side of the ball. That was only gave a yellow card where I'm not sure how. And then the second was Anderson, who went two-footed right over the top of the ball. He gave a yellow card, and that went to a red card. Pretty obvious. And yeah.
So he's basically, what he's saying is he's a referee that needs a VAR to correct his mistakes, but he hasn't got one today. Here's a free kick for Borough down the other end. Cross goes into the penalty. It could be a chance for Ayling at the back post, and it's blocked. No, it's Fry rather who tries to cross it back in. Second attempt, and it's off. Matsuki for a corner.
Yeah, as always, Middlesbrough's turn there, wasn't it? Target in towards the back post. Fry in. Did that hit his hand? Matsuki has got his hands down. I think it would have hit his thigh if it didn't hit his hand. So fair enough. But yeah, it does hit his thigh. But I was a bit worried from Borough. They were so direct in the first half, but then that last package of play where Britton crossed in and Conway rescued it. Corner kick comes in, headed away from Howard Bellis. Azaz target wins it well, so does Howard Bellis. Excellent tonight, but that last passage of play rather when Borough were on the attack and Britton crossed it and Conway gathered it, that was almost like a rerun of the first half, wasn't it, last Saturday? And we've seen that a lot this season. Changing coming, Si.
Yeah, Matsuki's coming off, and he's putting on his shift in tonight. Hasn't quite sparked as a creative or an attacking force, but he's certainly filled a few holes and got around the park. He's going to be replaced by Flynn Downs, who started the first game at the Riverside Stadium. He's had a good season since arriving on... Well, I thought it was on loan, wasn't it? But he's signed permanently now. Signed permanently a couple of seasons ago, actually, for Southampton. We have a long throwing opportunity down the left-hand side for Borough. He goes in from target towards the near post, headed clear by Stewart. Target wins the next header. Then it's flicked on by Azaz, knocked away by Cienza. Borough retrieve possession out on the left touchline. Morris knocks it back to the halfway line. And then it gets a shove for his troubles. Britton there from Stewart back to Britton. Britton's the long ball forward, trying to seek out Conway on the left hand side to let it run beyond him and through and out for a throw in, which will be Southampton's in the right back position.
Yeah, interesting that Flynn Downs didn't make the 11 this evening. The fact it's happened bang on 65, that change. You wonder if Matsuki's just gone on with the brief to run himself into the ground for 65 minutes. He's played really determined, not quite happened for him. He's certainly given his all, but Flynn Downs on a yellow card from the first leg. He gets a lot of those, doesn't he? And you wonder if that's Tondreka maybe managing that situation with an eye on Wembley, perhaps a week on Saturday.
Here come Saints down the left hand side. High flighty cross to the back post is dealt with by Target, who knocks it clear. Then there's a mistake by Southampton that allows Conway to boot it clear. It's a good crossfield pass, actually. It's going to find Whittaker in some space in broken plays. Driving back with Charles, the only man between him and the goal, towards the penalty area now with Whittaker. Can he try a trick onto his left foot? He can, and his shot is poor. He's claiming a deflection, though, and will get a corner.
Yeah, if it is, he's got away with Whittaker because he takes too much. I think everyone knows in the stadium, don't they, that, and us in our studio, 300 miles or so away, that he wants it on his left foot. And rather than try and curl it in, Shea Charles tries to show him down the line. He does get half that yard, but there's bodies and he blasts it in the end. And well, Wood doesn't complain, so I suggest maybe the touch, quite clearly off his shoulder.
So Middlesbrough will have a corner, and Whittaker will take it with his left foot. Coming in swinging from that, away swinging from that side, from that left-hand side. It's headed away by Saints. Morris wins the ball, exchanges passes with Whittaker. Whittaker's actually fouled Downs, who manages to find an escape route to Cienza. Borough come again with Morris, driving forward the American midfielder, slips it wide to Whittaker. Whittaker from the left, puts it in early. It's headed clear by Charles, drops to Fry, who's high on the edge of the box. Borough just trying to settle things down again as we come up to the 3/4 point in the match. Morris is pointing for it to go back to Ayling. Ayling now feeds it forward to the left-hand side. Target looks up. Doesn't fancy the cross there. Goes back to Morris. Morris, whose chances of starting for America in the World Cup have improved with Johnny Cardoso's injury. Cross comes in from Target to the back post. It's an easy claim for Peretz. And we've reached that 68.5 minute mark to take you through to full time. It's going to be Jack Ogleby.
Yeah, cheers. So of course, Flynn Downs missed that quarter-final against Arsenal due to suspension, and unfortunately the semi-final defeat to Manchester City at Wembley due to the same issue. So he'll be desperate to try and inspire his side through to the big dance a week on Saturday. He's already gone into someone and I thought fouled someone else, so he's looking to announce himself, the former West Ham player, as Yander turns and goes. Shea Charles has pushed a bit further forward. It looks like it's going to be a 4-3-3 rather than a 4-2-3-1. Azaz and Cienza the closest to Stewart. Cienza still on. Britton wins the ball off the Brazilian at the expense of a throw yet in Southampton territory. Morris is trying to push Middlesbrough up by vacating the midfield, but there's a bit of space there as Azza's got into it. And Fry's had to cover a lot of ground to try chase him down. Stewart just toe pokes you past Briston. They've got numbers on the right hand side. Downs into Charles. Bree makes a foray infield. Southampton again come right to left. Azaz on the edge of the box wants that shooting chance. Read by Malanda, just arcs his body, gets the block away for a throw. Southampton to take it. Sienza is back up and going. Conway, well, he's got his head in his hands and now his head in his shirt. So not good signs, I don't think, for Tommy Conway. You imagine, just by the nature of his demeanour, that this might not be good. I'd be interested to see if there was an incident. I wasn't quite sure. He seems to have gone down and got his head in his hands.
Yeah, he seems to know it's terminal, either for this match or for the season, so Alan Brown will come on.
And potentially the World Cup as well, because he's been in recent Scotland squads, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Alan Brown is going to be the replacement, we think, or is he not? Both sides going to take on a bit of hydration and nutrition to see them through the final 18 and a bit minutes of this game. Potentially beyond as well, of course. 1-0 on the night and 1-0 on aggregate after the goalless draw on Teesside on Saturday. Brown is receiving some instruction. He'll just be questioning the instruction as well. The Saints fans finding the voice somewhat. Tommy Conway's right ankle seems to be the problem.
Yeah, just lip reading in there. He was telling the physios it's fine. So it doesn't look fine the way he's gingerly walking off, but perhaps not wanting to give too much information away to the physios.
Yes, so 18 minutes of the game still to go, and Borough make their first change. Conway, he's going through all the emotions at the moment. He's looking.
He looks in some pain.
Can't put much weight through the right leg.
Perhaps he was just telling them that he was fine to walk off, but clearly not fine to run.
And around the Irishman to take enter the fray. As he did with a bit more to go at the weekend. It came on 68 minutes, 73 thereabouts. 1-1 as I said on the night. Throw in to Southampton, level with the Middlesbrough box. Manning goes back to Yander. He'll switch to play to Wood, who'll go Howard Bellis. Whittaker's gone to the left, Strelic to the right, a bit more, Brown a bit more centrally. McGree's leading the press at the moment. It's almost a diamond in attack for Borough. Brown joining Morris in midfield. Peretz will go long. Fry wins it. Shea Charles nods it on in midfield. Downs to Bree. Mentioned Downs' yellow card at the Riverside. Cal Larry was the other player to be yellow card in that game, and he also dropped out the side for Stewart this evening. Stewart getting the goal for Southampton, equalising after McGree's early effort. Cienza back to Peretz. Now with Bellis. An excellent evening so far. 18 months or so ago, he was an England goal scorer on his debut against the Republic of Ireland at Wembley. Now Fry's fouled Stewart. Free kick just inside the Southampton half. Andy Madley's stopping Saints taking it too quickly because he's not in the right position. Which is probably fair enough. And Flynn Downs wanders forward. And Howard Bellis will take it. Just a reminder, more playoff action tomorrow. Stockport against Stevenage, 8 o'clock kick-off, that one on this service, as is Manchester City against Crystal Palace. Citizens looking to cut the deficit to Arsenal to 2 points there in the FA Cup final as well on Saturday against Chelsea, as Downs works it wide to Bree. The pre-assist, I guess, for the Southampton goal. His free kick causing the carnage. To Shea Charles returns and Wood. First time ball to Manning. Cienza wide on the left hand side. Will he try and take Callum Britton on? Yes, he will on this occasion. Left footed ball in. I was wrong. He's definitely ran off that injury. Looks a real bother. It's the first time he's gone up down the line. Went inside a corner kick.
Yeah, just looking at how Middlesbrough operate out of possession there, and the way Malanda, steps into the back four or makes it a back five essentially, then steps out again into midfield. But him constantly doing that, you need to have eyes in the back of your head as a fellow centre back there. And you wonder why Southampton haven't been able to get runners in behind and spring an offside trap.
Sheds ball in, everyone goes for it, and the last touch came off Howard Bellis. I thought he maybe headed it onto the goalkeeper, and it went up off Sorbrin's shoulders, but a goal kick. We're going to say it again. Cienza's ball in. Howard Bellis goes up, but actually does quite clearly come off his head. I think actually flicks off Dale Fry first. And Howard Bellis, I imagine Roy Keane actually getting a video together of all these things where he's saying that he didn't get the last touch. That's like a Christmas thing they'll all have a laugh at together, because he asks for everything, doesn't he? Howard Bellis has Morris wins it in the midfield. Target down the line to McGree, who's playing further forward now. Away by Howard Bellis to Azaz, who skips round his man. First time he's been able to do that, Azaz, and an inside ball isn't the best. Where's he gone? He's gone for a throw. I wasn't sure if he'd gone for a corner kick. Azaz, you get the feeling Don the Recco will happily persevere, because he does have a habit of getting big goals.
Yeah.
Saw that one at Wembley. Azaz back to Bree. Works it back to Howard Bellis into Yander, who can turn in midfield here. Scoots the ball back to Wood, who'll whip it wide to Manning. Down the line, it's well read by Brown. You see, it's quite interesting. You mentioned Malanda stepping in. Shea Charles is playing an interesting role. He and Yander are almost switching positions, and Aileen doesn't quite know whether to come or go at the moment. Out of possession. Downs back to Howard Bellis. He'll play the ball down the line to Bree. Howard Bellis can switch the ball right to left. Hangs up in the Hampshire sky. It's won by Britton. Won by Morris. As half wins it, then it's the wrong side of Malanda. That's going to be a foul, I think. Referee thought about a yellow card. Just a free kick though, 40 yards from the Middlesbrough goal. Southampton want to get it on with it quickly, but from about 10 yards from where the ball is, it is going to be a yellow card against Malanda. We're going to see it again. He just gets the wrong side, and from there he's always the wrong side of the play, isn't he?
Yeah, it was a bit of a desperate lunge there from the Frenchman Adilson Malanda, and he joins a growing list of names in Mr. Madley's pocketbook. Free kick to defend now though, and they've conceded from a free kick already tonight. They've got to get the marking assignments correct here.
Yeah, he's been really good since coming in from Charlotte. He spent the first half of the season on loan back in MLS, but very impressive, the Frenchman. Ball teased in, it's a header by Stewart, but he can't get the contact he wants. It was trundle out for a goal kick. The camera pans around St Mary's. Anxiety etched on the faces of the home fans, who of course are in the majority. He almost just couldn't quite time his run there, Stuart. By the time he was got the contact on the ball, he was on the way back down. And the goal kick at Sorbrin to take it. 11 minutes left. Plenty of subs still to be made for both Don the Reckert and Kim Hellberg. Bryn, head down, foot through the ball. Headed away by Howard Bellis. Target then that loops it forward. Bree into McGree. His early steered goal. So impressive. Moves it back to Morris. This opens up for him. Thought about the shot. Ailing's very advanced now. He goes and receives the ball on the left side from McGree. He's going to go on the outside, or he's going to try his Ailing. The cross is blocked. Southampton half claiming for a double kiss, but no. There will be a Borough ball, and well, understandably, I suppose, as the wayside, but maybe having been out of possession for a lot of this second half, then trying to slow things down. Matt Targett's not happy with the ball, original ball, then the ball boy's not going to give it to him because they're saying, why didn't you pick up the original ball? And well, some nervous faces amongst the. And now there's a bit of pushing and shoving because involving the ball boy. I don't know why Target didn't take the original ball, really, but that's just the tension of the situation, perhaps.
Yeah, I think it was a bit unnecessary from the ball boy there to refuse to give Target the ball. He probably wanted a drier ball or something like that because he's going to take a long throw here, and the ball boy, talking about main character energy. Does he really need to get involved there?
No, well, yes, does he really need to get involved? That might be the conversation he has with the youth coaches, and I don't know. And to be fair, like, Morris goes over to him, and there's no reaction from the ball boy. He just gives him the ball, and then the Southampton substitutes all pile in, then the Borough substitutes all pile in, and it's all a bit of a mess, really. It's the Borough throw, though. Jack Stevens and Matt Target having a chat on the sidelines. It's towards Fry. Wood stands tall. Morris goes down, but I thought he was sliding as he went. Was he fouled?
Yeah, he's given the easy free kick to Southampton there, and waved away the claims for a penalty. I think they were weak claims from Middlesbrough, though, for the slip cum grab on the back of his shirt for Morris.
Yes, I thought he was almost sliding. He was on his way down, wasn't he? I think he slipped over the ball, much as anything. As it's cleared by Peretz, flicked on by Stewart. Cienza had the mobility to get there ahead of Fry, who'll play it back to Bryn, who could work it to Britton. First touch is a big one down the line. Not a bad one as Strelic comes across. Wood wins it ahead of the Slovakian, but territory gain, and Borough really slowing things down now. Substitution incoming. Leo Castledine has got a great goal against Bristol City back end of March. Great first half of the campaign at Huddersfield. Prompted Borough to successfully sign him from Chelsea. Father Stewart played at Wimbledon. As Leo Castledine comes into the middle of the park, but loves breaking forward from those positions. Britton 1-2 with Morris. Yander reads it, but another throw Borough's way. Going to be two changes involving Southampton. Samadosi and Cal Larin ready to come on. Shay Charles hooks it on to Stewart. I think he may be about to be replaced unless they go all out. Cienza might be in danger too, but he is the danger now. On the left hand side, little ball inside to Yandu. Plays a back heel to no one. Morris is back there. Rise Yander's challenge, then clears his lines. Oh, he must have seen something towards Castledine. It's over his head and breathes. Happy to let the ball go out. Southampton, are they going to get on with it quickly? No, they're not. I think we're going to see the changes. Yes, we are eventually going to see the changes now. We wait for the board. The handshakes all round from Don Dereca, and it is Ross Stewart for Kyle Larin. Those two have chopped and changed since Larin came in from Mallorca on loan on February the 2nd, in fact, having struggled to Feyenoord in the first half of the campaign. Larin could have a big summer with Canada. Co-host, of course, Leo Cienza still not moving quite right. Adozi will come on down the left-hand side. So double change for Saints. Attacking ones at that. And they have possession with their throw on halfway. And the Recart's prowling that technical area. Bree to take that throw in, and maybe a moral victory for Middlesbrough because he did get about 15 yards there. Kim Helberg wasn't happy, but didn't quite work out between Bree and Azaz. Fry now Ailing. He's playing more of a roaming role now. Cruyff turns and goes down, doesn't want a free kick. Bree wants to get on with it quickly. Castledine does well just to stand in his way and slow things down. Now Yander turns smartly. Azaz back to Bree. Nice football round the corner to Azaz, who's fouled by McGree, who knows it as well. And it's a free kick wide on the right hand side, but not level with the 18-yard box, and a real opportunity this for Southampton.
Yeah, they played a nice little triangle there, Southampton, to get free down the right, and McGree comes across. He just catches Azaz. He chopped back onto his right foot. It's a clear foul, free kick, and like I say, this referee's, he gives the easy ones, doesn't he? And that was an easy one for him to give.
Azaz actually miscontrolled that. He caught it with his standing foot and then had to stretch it at the Cruyff turn. I think that put McGree off, and then it was a bit of a clumsy foul in the end. But opportunity, looks like it's going to be Bree with the free kick. Anxious faces all around St Mary's. The prize, a game against Hull at Wembley a week on Saturday. Bree takes the free kick halfway by Fry onto a fellow Middlesbrough player. It's Malander. Corner kick.
Yeah, it's a dangerous set piece sent in again by Bree. First contact there was by Malander, but he was under some heavy pressure. And they scored from a free kick in the first half. Southampton, just wonder if another set piece is going to make the difference for him in these closing moments.
Yeah, and Borough have had a habit of conceding late goals, haven't they, all season? Breeze ball in towards the back post, well away by Matt Target on this occasion. Dozy will get his first real touch down the right hand side. Brown shepherds him away. Yander will go all the way back to Dan Peretz, on loan from Bayern Munich, the goalkeeper. His left footed ball into Wood. Does a good throw, but he finds a colleague. Bree still on the left hand side. Works inside to Flint Downs, who'll go back to Christian Yander. Yander digs it out. And Azaz has it back to Wood. 3 minutes left, rather. 1-1 on the night and on aggregate. Howard Bellis now. He has Flint Downs to his left hand side. And he thought about going across, but thought better of it. Maybe not as obvious target with Stuart off and Larin on. Shay Charles will go wide to Bree, who skips inside target. Back to Charles, lofted ball. Dozy is going to try and run with Alien, but Alien just uses his body and his experience. He goes out for a goal kick. I have to say, there's one team who are looking towards extra time and probably on, and that's Borough. Southampton, I think, having more about them, trying to get it done in 90 minutes.
Yeah, Borough have gone into a bit of a shell. They're just trying to protect their goal, stop Southampton from penetrating the lines, which they've done a successful job of, really, in the last couple of Southampton possessions. Saints are trying to play those riskier balls, the ones that are going to potentially get them out of possession. But that is playing into Borough's hands at the moment, really.
Bryn clears long. Woods underneath it. Header only finds Ailing. He powers it into Brown, who turns nicely. Ball away wasn't the best. Malander wants it down to Fry, who passes short to Azaz. He finds Larin, who gives it back to Azaz. Azaz's ball wasn't the best. It doesn't quite find Downs. Well read by Morris in midfield, who then win his side a free kick. Happy to take the contact, the American, untidy by Yander. And Borough managing the game, I suppose you'd say. Morris just stretching out his calves there, guarding against a bit of cramp. He's asked for a gel there, hasn't he?
He's feeling cramp, yeah.
Pointing to his legs, and I don't know what the universal sign for a gel is. As someone who's watched a lot of cycling, you know what it is. Yeah. I guess that's what he's hoping for, as Brim will take the free kick. Punts it into Southampton territory. It's going to go all the way for a goal kick. In fact, Breeders moving Castlereagh out of the way. Kim Hellberg, demeanour's not really changed in this game.
Yeah, long goal kick. Both teams in the mode where they just can't afford to get caught playing out from the back, so they go to kicking long now from the goal kicks.
Yeah, it's trying to limit the errors, aren't they, by not taking any real chances and into the opposition half. Larin, lovely chest down. He'll find Azaz. It's played through, but neither Adozo or Larin are going to get on to that. It was too strong by Azaz. And the clock goes red. We wait for the stoppage time. 5 minutes. Bryn's clearance up into the Southampton half. It's headed for by Howard Bellis. Then Ailin loses out in midfield. Yander wins it. He's got Larin to his right. Adozi to his left. He finds Larin. First time short. It's well saved by Bryn. Wasn't the best effort. Didn't have much to do or much he could work with, I think, there, Larin. It was a tight angle. The ball was a touch behind him. He had to hit it side footed. It was a decent save by Bryn.
Yeah, I think he did the right thing. You know, he just tried to get a shot away early, catch the keeper out at the near post, but Bryn was equal to it.
Yeah, he was. Peretz, who's been a bit of a bystander for much of this game, actually. A couple of early saves, of course, conceded that early goal, but a little to do. Israeli since then. Bryn will knock it long. Once again, underneath it is Manning and Whittaker. Hit of handball by Manning. He comes away with the ball. Downs now will give it back to Howard Bellis. I think we'll go long. Yes, he will. Looking for Larin. Fry's in charge of the situation. Loses out though. Is that a penalty kick? All eyes on the referee. No, he waves away the protestations. It's Dale Fry's clutching his left knee. We're going to see it again. And it's a penalty kick. I don't know how the referee has not given it. Larin toe pokes it away from Fry, who kicks him. Even if we get to a penalty shootout, I don't think he's going to let them take them the way he's refereed this game.
It just looked like a penalty, didn't it? The first time of asking it looked like a penalty. I've not seen anything in the replay suggest he didn't catch him there. I think it was clumsy from, you know, it was clumsy from Dale Fry, and you put yourself at risk of giving away a penalty there. The linesman is only 15 yards away. He doesn't give it. He's not even looking at the players. He's looking at the referee. He's taking his cue from Andy Madley, and Andy Madley's turned everything down tonight, and he turns another one down.
Yes, I think Southampton will feel. Well, both sides actually have had penalty shouts turned away. Southampton 2-1 on that scale.
I think it's 2 each actually, but yeah. So, I mean, it's just consistent in a sense, because he's just not going to give a penalty tonight.
But both of Southampton's have been, for me, pretty stonewall. That if it was all the ingredients for a penalty on the referee coaching video, it looked like he just had all the criteria. There were two players running towards it. One won it. One was running across the player who won it, and they both went down. Yes, it's just strange by the referee. Dale Fry's is still receiving a bit of treatment. I think he did get a whack for his troubles, but he was the aggressor. The referee's brought Ailing and Howard Bellis together. It's still deep in discussion with Ailing as Andy Madley. Fry's back on his feet. He won't want to go off. But
yeah, he's tweaked something behind his knee as he fell after making that challenge, the one that, you know, we think perhaps could have been a penalty, because then he's planted his foot inside the penalty area on his way down, and he's sort of almost like overflexed his knee, and yeah, it'll be a painful one for him. He'll just be feeling something a little bit sort of a pinch behind his knee, and if he's not able to carry on here through extra time, that is a big blow to Borough, because he's been their best defender tonight.
Yeah, he's been excellent, hasn't he? They've had to work hard to find a way to get him in the team, Dale Fry, but he has played well.
I mean, Hull City probably the big winners tonight, seeing the ones that are going off injured. Cienza, although he was able to carry on for a while, he went off still limping a little bit, and Dale Fry now is limping towards the sideline, but seems to be moving a bit better now.
Yeah, and he's kept the armband on, which suggests he won't be going off. Sobrin will prepare to restart. It was goal kick. Get a bit of extra time. We've played 4.5 minutes of the stoppage, but there's not been a lot of play, I have to say, in amongst all that. Howard Bellis nods it forward to Larin. Flynn Downs loops it forward to Adozi, but Britton's back there. It falls to Yander, but Britton's stretches out, does well, and finds Castledine, who gets it past Wood. Does he know? Wood turned well and managed to work it back to Howard Bellis. He'll go right to left into Charles. The ball bounced in front of Charles. He has to preparing himself. Then Britton, well, he come through the back of Edozie. Oh, looked a bit. Edozie stopped and Britton played the ball, and Edozie almost got in the way, but he's actually won his side a free kick.
Edozie claiming he was caught there, and he spins away and writhes in agony. He obviously knows Britton's on a booking and wants to try and put pressure on the referee, but the referee's not going to make that big call. I don't think. He's just happy to get through to full time with no penalties and 22 players on the pitch.
Yeah, it might be this the final play. Manning's going to take the free kick just inside the Middlesbrough halfway on the left-hand side. Southampton making their runs. The ball's onto Fry's head, heads it away. Charles looks to nod it to Edozie. Charles beats Edozie to it, and those two bundle the way through. Ball into the box to Flynn Downs, who stunned it into the ground of his right ankle. Could be a break here for Middlesbrough. Morris needs to get it away. Well played by Christian Yan, who holds him up, but Whittaker can break over halfway. Cuts back onto his left foot, and toe pokes it away, and looks like we're going to be going all the way, Si.
Yeah, Borough still more interested in managing the game than they are in going on the attack. That's their prerogative. You know, they're the away team. Southampton have got some momentum behind them, so they're just trying to get it through to full time and then go again in extra time. You know, I don't know what Kim Hellberg's got up his sleeve. Clearly, Tom de Reckert would love to know as well, but at the moment, it's heading for that extra time period.
Yeah, it's given away by Melander though. Shea Charles into Edozie. Melander makes amends by winning the ball. Now Whittaker wants to break away, but again just tries to get it in onto his left foot. Manning knew what was coming, took the ball away from him. Still we play 96.5 on the clock, 1.5 more than the 5 added on. It's towards Larry, who's holding it well against Dale Fry, who's holding on to him. It's a throw in. I thought Fry was just limping away, but he seems okay. I think they're going to let them play this one out. Andy Madley is...
Oh, ball's gone missing.
Ball's gone missing.
Ball boys kept it again.
Yeah. As Bree is not really a long throw exponent, so looking to go short, I would imagine. First time for everything, maybe. Could he go long? No, he goes back to Howard Bellis. Now Wood. And looks at the referee, expecting him to blow, but still we play. Manning down the line towards Edozie. Landers marking space. Edozie, Shea Charles rather gets inside him, but Fry sweeping up and thanks him for his efforts. Another throw, no. Referee has got time on the 97 minutes, tied up at full time, and that means we're going to extra time. Join us shortly for all the action.
Towards extra time at St Mary's for this Championship playoff semi-final second leg. 1-1 on the night, so 1-1 on aggregate. The early goal from Riley McGree was cancelled out in the first half by a clever free kick routine that was finished off by Ross Stewart's downward header. Second half was a little bit of a damp squib. There were some chances. Southampton probably the better team by and large, but we're now heading to the extra 30 minutes to decide which of these two teams goes through to face Hull City at Wembley later this month. Heading towards extra time at St Mary's for this Championship playoff semi-final second leg. 1-1 on the night, so 1-1 on aggregate. The early goal from Riley McGree was cancelled out in the first half by a clever free kick routine that was finished off by Ross Stewart's downward header. Second half was a little bit of a damp squib. There were some chances. Southampton probably the better team by and large, but we're now heading to the extra 30 minutes to decide which of these two teams goes through to face Hull City at Wembley later this month. Heading towards extra time at St Mary's for this Championship playoff semi-final second leg. 1-1 on the night, so 1-1 on aggregate. The early goal from Riley McGree was cancelled out in the first half by a clever free kick routine that was finished off by Ross Stewart's downward header. Second half was a little bit of a damp squib. There were some chances. Southampton probably the better team by and large, but we're now heading to the extra 30 minutes to decide which of these two teams goes through to face Hull City at Wembley later this month. Heading towards extra time at St Mary's for this Championship playoff semi-final second leg. 1-1 on the night, so 1-1 on aggregate. The early goal from Riley McGree was cancelled out in the first half by a clever free kick routine that was finished off by Ross Stewart's downward header. Second half was a little bit of a damp squib. There were some chances. Southampton probably the better team by and large, but we're now heading to the extra 30 minutes to decide which of these two teams goes through to face Hull City at Wembley later this month. Heading towards extra time at St Mary's for this Championship playoff semi-final second leg. 1-1 on the night, so 1-1 on aggregate. The early goal from Riley McGree was cancelled out in the first half by a clever free kick routine that was finished off by Ross Stewart's downward header. Second half was a little bit of a damp squib. There were some chances. Southampton probably the better team by and large, but we're now heading to the extra 30 minutes to decide which of these two teams goes through to face Hull City at Wembley later this month. Heading towards extra time at St Mary's for this Championship playoff semi-final second leg. 1-1 on the night, so 1-1 on aggregate. The early goal from Riley McGree was cancelled out in the first half by a clever free kick routine that was finished off by Ross Stewart's downward header. Second half was a little bit of a damp squib. There were some chances. Southampton probably the better team by and large, but we're now heading to the extra 30 minutes to decide which of these two teams goes through to face Hull City at Wembley later this month. Heading towards extra time at St Mary's for this Championship playoff semi-final second leg. 1-1 on the night, so 1-1 on aggregate. The early goal from Riley McGree was cancelled out in the first half by a clever free kick routine that was finished off by Ross Stewart's downward header. Second half was a little bit of a damp squib. There were some chances. Southampton probably the better team by and large, but we're now heading to the extra 30 minutes to decide which of these two teams goes through to face Hull City at Wembley later this month. Heading towards extra time at St Mary's for this Championship playoff semi-final second leg. 1-1 on the night, so 1-1 on aggregate. The early goal from Riley McGree was cancelled out in the first half by a clever free kick routine that was finished off by Ross Stewart's downward header. Second half was a little bit of a damp squib. There were some chances. Southampton probably the better team by and large, but we're now heading to the extra 30 minutes to decide which of these two teams goes through to face Hull City at Wembley later this month. Heading towards extra time at St Mary's for this Championship playoff semi-final second leg. 1-1 on the night, so 1-1 on aggregate. The early goal from Riley McGree was cancelled out in the first half by a clever free kick routine that was finished off by Ross Stewart's downward header. Second half was a little bit of a damp squib. There were some chances. Southampton probably the better team by and large, but we're now heading to the extra 30 minutes to decide which of these two teams goes through to face Hull City at Wembley later this month.
And we are about to restart. Did think there might be a couple of changes, maybe. It doesn't look like either Tonda Eckhart nor Kim Helberg have opted to utilise their options thus far. And it was as we were, and still no ball is the delay to the start of this first half of extra time. The camera inevitably falls on the ball boy, who's at the heart of a bit of a melee in the second half, and Castledine gets underway. Yeah, it's been a 1-1 night. Of course, it was 0-0 after the first game. It looks like we're heading towards penalties, but I think penalties will be the main talking point. I've seen a bit of reaction to certain certain instance. Matsuki was universally, I think everyone thought that was a handball on the different monitors you look at. The Cienza one is split in opinion, but I think everyone thought Larin should have been a penalty. Wasn't to be, and we play on. Borough have an early opportunity. Callum Britton lining up for a long throw. The 18-yard box. Dale Fry and Luke Ayling among those coming forward. Alan Brown towards the edge of the area. Britton's going to wind up. Low trajectory. Larin's in there. Wins it and tries to win it a second time, but McGree's enough to find Britton. His ball isn't the best. Adozie away. Morris back to McGree. Just work it back to target. It was the deepest of the Middlesbrough outfield players. He teased it forward towards Brown. Manning heads it way ahead of his Irish international teammates. Now Adozie, slender figure, gets away from Britton, and it's a free kick, but I don't think it is. It's yellow cards for Callum Britton as well, and I just thought not for the first time. They're both had it. Adozie's miscontrolled it. He's ran out of play. They've all gone down in a heap, and the referee's made what I think is a bit of an easy decision there.
Yeah, I mean, that's his modus operandi, isn't it? Anything outside the box that's got a bit of contact is a free kick. Anything inside the box with a bit of contact is nothing.
Manning with a free kick. Again, Southampton start offside. Deep ball in. Sol Bryn, well played by him. Reads it all the way. Gets on with it up straight away as well. Tries to unleash it to Morgan Whittaker. Dan Peretz was a good 40 yards from his own goal and controlled it beautifully. First time pass to Adozi, on loan from Bayern Munich, and you can tell he's been in part of the five-a-sides on a Friday. Adozi, now left edge of the box, cuts inside, the ball isn't the best, it bundles towards Dale Fry, who knocks it long. He seems to have fortunately recovered from what we thought might be a bit of a nasty knee knock. Wood into Yander, back to Wood. Yeah, Middlesbrough haven't had a shot since the 68th minute. In that time, Southampton had 4 of them, and 70% of the possession. You do wonder if the legs are going to tire for Borough. Into Wood's feet. Adozi trying to turn Britton. Britton wins the ball again. And then a second time he can stride forward now, the full-back. Into McGree, who takes it on the turn and gives it back to Britton. Only castled in central. He looks to take it in his stride, but Wood nips in front of him. Target gets the seconds. Morris is very much down to walking pace for Borough when they have the ball. Ball in there towards Castledine from the right hand side by Britton. It's fielded by Howard Bellis. Castledine, I remember scoring his first goal for Borough against Bristol City. A lovely sweeping finish from a similar ball actually. It's Hayden Hackney with the ball on that occasion. He's not available this evening. I believe he's still out of contract, so you think he'll be in the Premier League one way or another. Borough hoping it's with them. Hull waits in the playoff final on May the 23rd at Wembley. Britton tries to disguise the ball. It's well read by Manning. Bellis into Adozi to former Man City Academy player. So Shea Charles, he looks to come forward. It's Azaz who looks to help it on to Larin. Target halfway, Britton down the line to Whittaker. Comes inside and plays it against Melander's feet. It wasn't great there by Whittaker. Melander did really, really well. Morris tries to switch to play. Retreating Southampton player blocks it out, and a throw to the away side just inside their own half.
Yeah, it's not much different to how Borough finished the first half. Second half rather. They were just sort of managing the game and slowing it down and trying to be quite deliberate and make sure they were in their defensive stations. Southampton still seem to be the more proactive team, if you like. You know, they're trying to get forward. They're trying to get the ball up to Larin. Borough happy just to pass it sideways and backwards, and maybe draw Southampton onto them. Now they go with a long ball. Yeah,
Sailing. He's played more on the left-hand side in the second half. This is the target to a bit of a tangle in the end, and Azaz went down. Play on. Peretz to Wood, who whips it out towards Manning. Back to Wood. He's got Dowds in front of him. We'll go back to the goalkeeper. Peretz trying to invite a press. A couple of Middlesbrough players shaped to go forward. Clips it to Larin. Ian Fry having a good tussle. Fry wins it on this occasion. Alien again going forward. Castledine and McCree having to do a lot of work with not a lot of support at the moment. But Castledine has it on the left hand side, cuts back. I thought he lost his foot in rather than was fouled by Downs there. And the referee seems to agree. Just having a look at the
that's a bad ball.
Options, yes. But Bryn was sharp off his line, then assured of the ball at his feet. But Sarmiento and perhaps Hansen attacking players for Borough. Gilbert Moore an attacker, Edmondson a central defender, so maybe something to look at in the summer. But what will the budget be? Because it's going to be heavily impacted by the next half an hour and beyond, as Brown into McCree, but Yander still full of running, plays it to Charles and Manning over halfway. No real urgency, back to Wood. He'll give it to Manning, who clips it down the line towards Adozie. He's all running, but Melander's quick and plays it back to goalkeeper Bryn. Over Marie's head. He's not sticking for Middlesbrough at the moment, but that helps. Poor ball by Wood. Whittaker picks it off, then McGree. Numbers game in the end, loses out. Manning shapes to go forward. And Downs tidies up. I've already seen a penalty shootout this season in the FA Cup. The away team winning on that occasion, Leeds against West Ham. As Howard Bellis trying to avoid that potential as Larin runs the line and gets onto him. Fry almost man marking the Canadian now. Plays it off of Fry's shins and out for a corner kick.
Yeah, Larin, a willing channel runner, and he's gone very wide there to receive that pass. So he's roamed all the way across the heart of that Borough defence, just find some space. When he gets it, he produces a cross that wins them a corner. That's exactly what you want from your striker at this stage of the game.
Yeah, he did really well there as Manning trots over to take it. Just counting up 6 Southampton shirts, all of them at the back post. Bree, Wood, Larin among them. Adozie in there too. And it's Flynn Downs. They're a tall team, Southampton. Howard Bellis comes in. The Galings in amongst it all. And Brown's been spoken to by Andy Manley.
Yeah, they've had a lot of attacking set pieces tonight, haven't they? Southampton scored from one of them. I feel as though maybe their quality can produce another opportunity from either a corner or a free kick.
Yeah, Manning to take it. And in swing, it's a low one. It's a flicked on towards the far post by Wood. And the last touch came off a Borough player, so Southampton going to have a second go at it.
Yeah, there's not much imagination about these corners, is there, from Southampton? They're all deliveries into pretty obvious areas near post there. Players peeling towards the near post, and a flicked header that took the deflection for another corner.
Yes, fans biting their nails around St Mary's as Reeves ball's a nice one. It's by Howard Bellis. Larin's in there. Eventually comes to Manning. He'll get the shot away. Will he? No. He plays it out to Adozie. His shot well saved by Bryn, just away from Howard Bellis on the rebound. He's done a lot to do tonight, Saul Bryn. That's the third big save he's made. Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. You know, there was a good chance there for Howard Bellis if he'd adjusted his feet to maybe convert the rebound, but it just came to him too quick. Yeah, 5 minutes left to go in the first period of extra time. 1-1 over the tie. Bryn saving to his right-hand side. Manning did well to turn. He gave it to Adozie, who's got it out his feet. It was a deflected off target. On target, and saved by Bryn. Matt Target turning his back onto it. Much to the dismay of the Southampton faithful. As turns, gives it to Howard Bellis. Blocked by Castledine. Going to do a lot of running. He's the youngster, signed from Chelsea in the winter window after a good spell at Huddersfield. Retz tells everyone to calm down. Experienced goalkeeper clips it forward towards Larin. Bumps Fry off. Yander takes it off his toes. Bree, Flynn Downs, Yander. He opens the play up. Manning's in space. Woods, I think, is going to be the player who eventually plays that ball. Manning into Shay Charles, who's further wide since Flynn Downs came on. Yander to Howard Bellis. The Woods side to the other, looking to find a bit of an overload. Shay Charles goes it back to Yander. As can get it out of his feet here. He's got Bree down the line. Uses Bree. Bit of a block in the middle of the play, but as recovers, Yander gets it away from his man. Makes it back to Howard Bellis, who's got Wood to his left hand side. Further wide is Adozie. He's offering the width. He receives the ball as well. Having a run at Britton on that yellow card. Britton It's a strong touch by Edozie. I think he overruns it. The referee says no, though. Shay Charles back to Flynn Downs, and Yander maybe works a shooting opportunity, or does he go wide to Bree? It's well read by Target, who gets away. Castledine, yeah, he's got 3 red and white shirts around him. Loses out. Edozie wide on the left-hand side. He's got Charles on his left. Azaz goes for a goal. Well blocked by Melander off the back of Castledine. Bree, edge of the box, cuts it back to Yander. Howard Bellis. Flynn Downs back to Howard Bellis. Shay Charles waits to the back post. Downs, low ball in. It's poor. Away by Fry. 2.5 minutes left of the first half of additional time.
Yeah, Middlesbrough defensive block, very solid there. You know, they lost the ball through Castledine, just couldn't make it stick, and then they again regained the shape, blocks up the centre of the pitch, got very narrow, very compact, and no way through for Southampton. So, you know, credit to Middlesbrough for really becoming very stout defensively, but they're offering nothing in attack at the moment.
No, they're not. Not for a lack of effort or endeavour. It's just the personnel. They're trying to find a counter-attack. It's just not sticking at the moment.
Well, you wonder how long Morgan Whittaker can last. You know, he's just won a tackle there and he's trying to set something going, but you know, he's not long back from you know, a time out of the game, a long spell out injured. You know, 120 minutes in this game, and it's been a tough 120 minutes as well. Might take its toll out. They're already without Strelec and Conway who've gone off. Riley McGree's now playing the furthest forward, really down the middle, and now the referee's given a free kick against him.
Yeah, I think Manning's bought that one. I think it's fair to say lost the ball and flew out. Morgan Whittaker is penalty taker, so I wonder if there is something in that about him staying on. Poor Middlesbrough fans. It's not an easy journey to many away games. It's from on Teesside, but it's the furthest you can get, I think. Southampton away this season. Pompey maybe a bit further on, as Manning goes long. Ailing's underneath it, heads it away, but only to Flynn Downs. Into Bree, gets it away to Azaz. Right edge of the box, needs a left-footed ball. Strokes it beyond Yander, who has to just scamper, and we'll give it to Manning. It's not a bad angle for Manning to put a ball into the air. It's onto Wood. Just the angle was wrong all the time from the former Swansea man. Rice Mouth moving out for a goal kick.
Yeah, just couldn't get the contact right there to trouble Bryn, who's been by far the busier of the goalkeepers, well, throughout the game really. Made some important stops, including that one in this extra time period. But it does look like we're going to get through to half-time and extra time still at 1 apiece.
Yes, it's a furrow brows as the broadcasters scan around St Mary's. That's all we've got for this first half of additional time. Still tied up at 1-1, and join us shortly for second half coverage.
Welcome back. Second half of extra time about to get underway, and we've just seen a Borough change. Kim Hellberger sent on Jeremy Sarmiento, and Riley McGree, the player who has been replaced. Sarmiento, who is on loan from Brighton. It's Middlesbrough, his 5th loan club since he signed for the Seagulls. He's also been at West Brom, Ipswich, Burnley and Cremonense. As we're back underway, long ball forward from Peretz is headed clear by Ayling, and then Downs comes through with a flying challenge on Morris. The ball breaks the way of Castledine. He's judged to have backed into Shea Charles, who's gone down holding his face, and the referee's given the free kick Saints' way. Castledine pleading his innocence here, but the referee said it was a forearm, not an elbow. No yellow card coming Castledine's way. This game has been a real battle since the first half boiling point that it reached when there were some accusations being levelled around. Taylor Harwood-Bellis and Luke Ayling reacted very angrily to something that was said, and that was after Leo Cienza had been accused of a dive. Cienza then denied a penalty in the second half. There have been at least 4 or maybe even 5 now good penalty shouts turned down. I think at least 2 apiece. But we're still at 1-1. Here's the free kick played in by Manning towards the edge of the box, headed clear by Fry. Sarmiento tries to get his first touch but loses out to Bree. And the fullback knocks it back to the halfway line, where Yander is the furthest back for Southampton. Now Manning, across the halfway line he comes. Surges past Castledine. Finds Edozie, who's dancing feet, taking past Britton, still going towards the penalty area. Good challenge comes in though for Brown though. Brown clears up the line towards the lone striker, which is Whittaker, but he's been dispossessed well by Yander. Southampton still with a little bit more impetus, with a bit more attacking threat, although Sarmiento might change that, having just come off the bench. Flynn Downs has it, patrolling the centre circle, knocks it back to Wood. And now Yander. Player down for Southampton at the moment. Looks like it's Edozie who's holding his shoulder. I'm not sure how that occurred. It must have been in that last foray forward for Southampton. Edozie went into a challenge with Brown. Brown perfectly timed his challenge. Edozie's fallen on his shoulder as he tried to break his fall, and looks like a painful one for him. Well, unless he's dislocated it, he's going to have to carry on, I think. We're at that stage of the game. But the game has stopped for the time being whilst Edozie receives some treatment on the pitch. So, last night, Hull City overcame Millwall to clinch their place at Wembley in the playoff final. Hull, of course, promoted to the Premier League a few years back under Steve Bruce. Back in the Premier League, if they can beat the winners of this game at Wembley. The winners of this game yet to be determined. Southampton, of course, were a Premier League side just last season. They're looking to bounce back up alongside Ipswich and I guess surprise champions Coventry. Not surprised if you've seen them play this season. And they finished well clear of the rest, in fairness to them. Still receiving treatment on the pitch, Edozie. The fans have burst into song and are trying to raise the spirits of the home team at least. Edozie is ready to come back on though. He's had his shoulder manipulation. I don't think it was anything more than that, and he's going to be alright to carry on. The referee's going to restart with a drop ball inside the Southampton half. He's going to drop it right at the feet of Manning. So probably at least 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the second half of extra time. So again, there'll be more drama, I'm sure, to come if one team or the other are pushing in those closing moments. The ball goes back to Peretz, who's waving everybody forward again. Castledine comes and then he knocks it long into the Middlesbrough half towards Larin, who's in the meat and the sandwich there. As a back header from Ayling is going to go behind for a corner. Ayling perhaps wanted to stop Larin getting that, but he's flicked it behind for another Southampton corner. They must be in, well, they'll be easily past double figures now for corners. This will be heading towards 20, won't it? 10. I exaggerated. So it's going to be swung in from the right-hand side, probably by Bree, who seems to be taking those set pieces from that side. Oh no, it's not. It's actually going to be left-footed from Manning. In it goes near post, towards the back post. It's going to be volley towards goal, cleared away by Malanda. It was Edozi's volley. Then it's beaten in the air by Target. Ball flicked on by Sarmiento. Azaz knocks it back to Charles, the furthest back for Southampton. Crossfield switch from him over to Manning, who's got Borough defender climbing all over him, but he's managed to wriggle free and attacks the edge of the penalty area on the right-hand side. Goes down in a challenge. Referee says no foul as Brown clears for Borough. High ball out towards Castley. It's a lovely pass as well. He's allowed to just peel away now and pick up possession. It's a 3 on the attack here for Middlesbrough. Castledine exchanging passes with Whittaker. Poor ball back though, well read by Harwood Bellis, and he slides it forward straight into the trap set by Malanda though. And Borough have possession again in the Southampton half. With Ayling now pushing forward across to the left hand side. Sarmiento takes it on the half turn. Tries to inject a bit of penetration, but instead they go back here, Borough, with Morris and Ayling now into Castledine. Castledine burrowing away edge of the box, trying to thread one through towards Brown. Knocked away by Wood. Collected again by Morris. Now Ayling gets away from Larin. Is he fouled? Yes, he is. Canadian stuck a boot out. Ayling took the fall and wins a free kick for Middlesbrough in the Southampton half.
Yeah, well, we see Luke Ayling's being stretched out with a cramp in his left leg, but it was... I think the right leg might need stretching out as well, but he did well to win that free kick. It wasn't really going anywhere, and Larry was maybe just a bit clumsy in the way he tackled the situation. Heads in hands. Football, the reason we hate it is the reason we love it, I guess. You just never know what's going to happen.
Free kick to Middlesbrough. It's swung in by Target to the near post. Flicked on, and nobody at the back post. Fry was the nearest to it, didn't anticipate it. Collected by the Saints keeper. He rolls it out. And Harwood Bellis looks eagerly forward for a runner. Now he tries to pick out a pass. Curls it across to the left side of the pitch where Azaz has just dropped back now on the halfway line. Moving forward with Manning alongside him. Knocks it into deep midfield with Downs. Harwood Bellis again. Back to Downs. Borough sitting deep again with a back four. 4 in midfield, then 2 up front at the moment. Here's Edozie on the left-hand side, teasing away against Britton. Gets repelled back towards Wood, who's 40 yards out. Knocks it square to Harwood Bellis. And back to Wood. He finds Yander. Yander trying to thread a ball through, edge of the penalty area, knocks it sideways to Downs. Looking for a 1-2 there with Manning. Manning, little reverse ball into the penalty area. It's a good one for Azaz. He tries a cross. It's too close to Breen, who makes an easy near post stop.
Yeah, he does, and in a way that also lets him take a bit of time out the game as well. Real pressure on the follow-up, and he was happy just to leave the ball on the ground for a second or so. Target plays it forward to Sarmiento. Needs to be sharper there. The way Bree steps in front of him.
Larin sends it back to Yander. Saints coming forward again through Downs. Square ball to Manning. Only one in the box to aim for. Now it goes wide to Edozie. Edozie tries to dribble up against Britton and sends a low ball in near post. Azaz couldn't take it, and Borough will clear through Britton. Nice slide rule ball. Finds Castledine in space. He's driving forward now, looking for support. Whittaker the only one with him. Now Britton arrives on the outside. He dwelt too long, and Downs has snaffled the ball away with a good sliding challenge.
Yeah, it was a really good recovery challenge that by Downs. Castledine was in that situation. We had a lot of grass in front of him. Neither player was really showing for him. They're both quite long distance balls, and Downs lining up. Good tackle.
Whip ball in from Manning is too high for Larin at the far post, but he'll keep it in down by the corner flag. He looks to be struggling a little bit physically at the moment. He came on as a sub in the second half, but he does keep it in and knocks it back to Harwood Bellis. Wood, centre of the pitch, sends it to Manning again. So often the The wand of a left foot can produce something from there, but not on this occasion. Now Yander tries to bustle forward. Nobody apart from Larin in the penalty area though for Southampton. They're very reticent to send bodies forward. Now the cross comes in from Edozie. Cleared away by Fry. Downs flicks it back towards Manning. Manning pokes it through here towards Yander in the penalty area. On his right foot, can't get a shot away. Morris makes a challenge, comes back to Manning. Manning slides it wide to Edozie. Again, there's not enough bodies in the box to aim for a cross. Puts it back to Manning. Player in the box down, holding his leg as Manning whips onto the back post, overcooks it. And it comes all the way out the other side, but picked up by Bree. Cross goes in from him, headed clear by Fry. Southampton player still holding his leg on the edge of the penalty area, but clearly not a head injury, so the referee doesn't have to stop the game. Southampton aren't putting the ball out either. They're continuing to press for this next goal. Edozie now on the wide left, puts an early ball in towards the penalty spot. Chance here for Larin. Oh, he just got taken away from him by a despairing tackle from Ayling. Comes back to Bree, he drives the shot in, and it's blocked by Brown. But just for a moment you thought that maybe Larin would get his shot away.
It looked like the moment there, didn't it, as Shea Charles crosses in for the right. It's left.
Oh,
it's left by Dale Fry, and it's into the net. Shea Charles, the hero against Arsenal at St Mary's in the quarter-final. It was a speculative ball in. Did Fry get the shot? I'm not sure. He visibly ducked as if he did. He left it, and he nestled into the far corner of Saltbryn's goal. He's repelling almost everything thrown at him, the goalkeeper, but he's not keeping that one out. It looks like it's going to be safe. He's heading to Wembley.
Well, it does, doesn't it? I mean, subject to the investigation and whatever the outcome of that is, but this is a sickener for Middlesbrough. But Shea Charles comes up with big goals, and he's just sent a speculative ball in, as you say. It's not really a shot. It's not really a cross. It's too close to the keeper, but the keeper's left it. He thinks the defender's got it. The defender thinks he's heard a shout from behind. Who knows what's gone on there, but a communication miscalculation has got Southampton in front with just 4 minutes of extra time to go.
Yeah, well, Larin struggled, just a breakdown in play all round, and Bellis finds Charles, who whips it in. Oh, just seeing it again. Dale Fry, you think he's got it, and then suddenly he doesn't. He shapes and he knows straight away, shapes to head it, then almost just ducks underneath the ball, and it just clips just inside the post and into the net. I was starting to look towards the penalty takers. Both Azaz and Brown missed it for the Republic against the Czech Republic in World Cup qualifying, but things stand, we're not going to get there. And Southampton heading to their second championship playoff final in 3 years.
That's right, yeah. The trip to Wembley is becoming a regular one for Southampton fans, and that's what they'll be planning for now, booking those hotels, those coach trips. But still a few minutes of extra time remain, and there's going to be, I think, at least 4 or 5 minutes of stoppage time, if not more than that now. But what a way to break the deadlock. A completely bizarre goal, a speculative ball played into the penalty area, which just eluded all the Borough defenders, including the keeper, and just came in off the far post. Yander's going to be replaced here. I think it's Cameron Bragg coming on, a young Scottish midfielder, just to try and sew things up here in the closing stages.
Yeah, Wellington's the second player who's going to come on. Brazilian's been plagued by injuries, really. And it's Sam Edozie, who is just holding his right arm. He went down with an injury earlier on, didn't he? But it's an action-packed cameo, but not quite limping off, but holding his arm as he goes off.
Yeah, he did seem to be struggling there, didn't he? Obviously, he played a part in the goal down the left-hand side. His early cross was cleared and then put back in by Charles for at the moment, what was going to be the winner. Long ball forward from Middlesbrough. From the restart, it's over Fry's head and goes out for a throw-in. And now where have the ball boys gone? The ball boys have gone walkabout. So Borough having to do their own fetching and carrying of the balls. New sub on for Middlesbrough in these closing stages is Sonny Hansen. He's come on for Luke Ayling, but not much time for him to make an impact on this game now, as we're almost through to the last 30 seconds of the extra time period. There will be, like I say, there's going to be lots of stoppage time. The ball cleared by Melander, down the line flicked on by Castledine, then volleyed forward by Wood. Now Hansen gets his first touch. It's a sharp turn in midfield, finds Sarmiento. He wriggles away from Bragg, the other substitute. Then he's just trod on the ball, knocks it back to Brown. Borough have got to get this ball forward, but Sonny Hansen again, nice turn from him on the edge of the penalty area, finds Whittaker. Whittaker goes with a drive shot with the left foot. It's blocked by Saints' bodies. Comes back to Melander. Borough have sent everybody forward now. Where was this a few minutes ago? Melander trying to look out to the left-hand side. Carries it forward, knocks it back to Target. Hansen makes a run in behind the fullback. It's a good run, and he's been fouled by Target. Ball cut back to the edge of the penalty area. They're falling over here. Now Brown's got a chance to shoot. He strikes it into a crowd of bodies again, and the Southampton defence stands firm.
Yeah, 5 minutes have been added on. We play the first 30 seconds as Morris goes down. It's going to be a free kick. Britton was screaming for it. The man in front of him took the shot. There's a bit of afters all round. Lovely play by Sonia Hansen. Brown went for the shot, but Britton, I think, was the ball. Free kick though to Borough.
Yeah, to be taken by Britton. Ball boy again was delaying the ball being thrown back in, and it comes from Britton. High hanging one towards the back. Keeper came and then went back home. It's headed clear by Saints. Comes back to Target. That penalty area is now loaded with blue and black shirts. And the cross comes towards the centre goal, headed away by Southampton. A volley from Britton. He's got that all wrong, and it's flown away for a goal kick.
Yeah, into the stand. There's where he runs towards the ball. It's all or nothing, unfortunately. It was nothing. Look at the Kim Hellberg just kind of stares into the distance.
It's cruel, isn't it?
It's awful, isn't it? But unfortunately, that's the cliche, the lotto of the playoffs, isn't it?
Middlesbrough did finish above Southampton in the table.
Well, Middlesbrough are top of the table on February the 6th, and then they lost to Coventry. Then they had that 6 home games where they couldn't win, and that just really cost them in the end.
Yep. Southampton, they are singing at the moment as the referee is going to issue a yellow card here to Peretz for delaying the goal kick. It would seem so. Can't quite see what the referee's doing. Now he lost his yellow card. Finally found it and showed it to the Saints keeper.
He should just add the time on there rather than give the yellow card, because Peretz knows he's going to get a yellow. He's waiting, and he waits until he whistles to pretend to take the free kick. Everyone knows what's happening there. The referee, I just think, needs to be a bit smarter.
I mean, I think unless he gives the yellow card, the goal kick would never be taken. We would still be waiting for that goal kick to be taken. Here comes Sarmiento driving forward down the right hand side. He's got support outside from Britton. Lots of red and white shirts in front of him. Goes back to Whittaker. Whittaker feeds it down the line. Chance for Britton to cross it. Takes a touch. Delivers a decent ball to the back post. Castledine's waiting. Beaten in the air, though, by a good header from Harwood Bellis. Drops to Whittaker. He tries to volley it through. It might drop to Target now. He slides it to Sarmiento. Sarmiento with a chance to shoot into a crowd of bodies again. A crowded penalty area stopping Borough from getting through. They might have a corner here. They do.
Yeah, that's with the last touch. Bodies flying everywhere. And Callum Britton just telling the taker to calm down. So Britton's coming forward. Still at least 90 seconds of the additional time to go, but only 90 seconds of the season as things stand.
Big yellow shirted Target in the penalty area. It's gone in towards the near post. Headed away by Southampton. Britton's got a scamper back now. Ball's been volleyed back up in the air. Headed forward by Southampton. Larin couldn't hold it. Britton is now back. Borough trying to put it forward again. Melander's pass was blocked off by Bree, and now Azaz with a chance to escape down the left. Plays it down the line. It's not a good pass there, though. So he's gone down there looking for a free kick and got one from Callum Britton. It was Wellington, the left-sided defender, who found himself in a wing position there, and he's won a free kick and a vital one for Southampton.
Yeah, he's done well there, Wellington. I'm not too sure it was a free kick. But he just gets his body in a good position and bounces off the Middlesbrough man who came away with the ball. I feel a bit... Callum Britton's just not had the rub of the green this evening. It's been one of those nights for him, and probably looks like it's going to be one of those nights for his side.
Well, this free kick going towards a corner flag. That's where they're all set up. It's just chipped into that that space. It's actually gone straight out on the full, and Britton's caught it, but he was off the pitch, and he tries to get Borough restarted again. We're playing the last 30 seconds of the time, extra time allotted on by the referee. Minimum, though, as long ball forward up towards the Borough front players. In fact, Dale Fry stayed up there, playing as the auxiliary centre forward. Ball cleared by Manning and out for another throw. Last throw of the dice. Kitchen sink time for Middlesbrough, and the ball's gone missing again, and the ball boys run off into the stand this time.
Well, I think it was Jack Stevens who was scampering up the steps there.
Well, anyway, Borough do get it back now, and they play a high ball into the penalty area. Wood with a towering header, drops to Britton, who tries to get down the right hand side. Can he get away from Wellington? The referee stepped on the pitch, and I think, has he blown the whistle? Well, the referee's assistant.
There's some sort of altercation on the far side, because Kyle Larin flew into Matt Target, and I wonder if it was a free kick. A yellow cards for Larin, who I think that means, would he miss the playoff final, because he was on a yellow card coming into it?
Well, let's go get through this last few seconds here for a free kick to Middlesbrough on the left hand side. It was for that foul by Larin. Britton has come forward again, the goalkeeper. Southampton trying to hold the line just outside the penalty area. His target floats the ball into the box. It's too far away for Peretz to come. Two Borough players go for it. Drops to Hansen, who volleys it into the crowd, and that will be that for Middlesbrough tonight.
Yes, he came to Hansen, a tough skill. Couldn't get his head over the ball, and the time has been called. Southampton for the second time this season, heading to Wembley, of course, 50 years after they won the FA Cup at the ground. Will they be winning promotion? They've won the playoff final before against Leeds 2024. They play Hull. Heartache for Middlesbrough. It's the Saints who march on to the Championship playoff final. Join us tomorrow for more playoff action. It's League One, Stockport against Stevenage. Also Premier League, Manchester City against Crystal Palace. Both 8 o'clock kickoffs.
Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck. Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting market, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the match? Whether you're interested in betting on the match result, the first player to score, the last scorer, correct score, double result, total goals market, handicap betting, or any other of our exciting markets, it's fun to be involved. Don't forget, when the match kicks off, you can sit back and enjoy superb independent studio commentary while also enjoying our in-play betting opportunities. Good luck! Our next football commentary match is getting ever nearer, so why not take the opportunity of having a bet on the